Stay in the loop. Sign up to our mailing list for important updates and upcoming events. Don't miss out.
It's kind of like the sun coming over a dark cloud and shining on you with its warm rays of beneficence.
Yeah. Once again from the soul. This is my notebook. Let me rip you a page that'll make you sit back and witness the plague. Got kids pitching grenades, missing the days. Guess you can't be a star sitting in the shade. And at times, life will make you sicker than AIDS. Twisting the haze, laid out wishing you prayed. Working hard, no difference is made. In a world that'll kill you and spit in your grave. The best thing a parent can say to a child, success has no restriction for age. Or we might be another nigga twisting some braids in the penitentiary, spending some days. Bad choices, plus you know how niggas persuade. Them snakes got venomous ways. And the worst thing to a man is feeling betrayed. Head above water, still get hit with a wave. Still think of my queen, get hit with a daze. Still treat us no different than slaves. This world will take hearts and fill them with rage. Water seeds with hate and make them sit in a cage. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. Nothing new under the sun. Shit ain't no different today. You know I can give up what your ministers say. I won't forget the past to remember the faith. As society takes souls and send them astray, then it's the hate you got trapped deep in your heart. So in these times I fall back deep in the arts, hidden colors. Got a nigga seeking the ark, sipping tea, watching devils pull people apart. I remember an old saying, reap what you sow. On your journey, stay humble and teach what you know. And this flow ain't the shit you see at the store. It's more like the damn killer that you greet at the door. Third eye be the seat of your soul. Such a beautiful earth these demons control. Gonna make shit better if I can, cause all over the world my empire stand. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. On some bullshit. World on some bullshit. Peace and love to y'all. Peace and love and flat motherfucking power to every last one of you mother freakers. Salutes, we back in the house, and I'm glad to be here. We got 200 people in here already. Seems that you guys are interested in today's topic. This is a very interesting topic. And before we begin, you all know that on Saturday, June 24th, I will be presenting some of my greatest research. I've been putting my foot into this doggone presentation all this month, and I will be giving my grand presentation Saturday, June 24th. We're only 3 days away. Hope to see you guys there. I really appreciate that, and I'm very excited about that. And so today's topic is, will STEM save our young ones from the perils that may lie ahead? Plus more topics, anything else you think would be relevant to this topic and any other topics that may bleed into this one. And I know not everybody gonna agree, so then we're gonna open it up for debates and discussions. I want to start this show off by playing some of yesterday's show to set the stage for the foundation of what I'm saying here with the title. And so, I'm just going to replay this one. I did a good job. Let's do it. Salutes to every last one of y'all. So today's title, man, is, will STEM save our young ones from the perils that may lie ahead? A lot of y'all put no. Well, a lot of people think so. A lot of people think so. a lot of people say that our children need science, they need tech, they need engineering, they need mathematics. And I'm here today to say that I don't think none of that will save our young ones from the perils that's going to lie ahead. If you look at the condition of our people, especially the youth, well, let's just talk about demon time. We got a young generation that's on demon time. And the level of mental depression is at an all-time high. Suicide rates are at an all-time high. The messages in the music are at an all-time level of corruption, right? A high level of corruption. The this and the dead. Look, we could go deep, man. If the young generation, the generations after the next get worse and worse. Now, look, a lot of people say these kids need STEM, and the brother named Chess Piece said it. He said, no, they need dads. Man, you gotta drop a bomb. Hold up, Hebrew hit him.
That's right.
That brother said they need dads.
That's right.
Ain't that right? Come on, man. That's just facts. So what I see a lot of our people doing, and I got to call it out, they're getting 501, 3Cs or C3s or whatever you call it. And under these programs, you know, the government will let you have your little organization, and you know you mentor the youth, basically, which is a good thing. We don't want to throw salt at that. You take these young kids and you take them out to museums. You take them to the planetarium. You take them to do things that are science, tech related, engineering related, map related, you know, things of that, and so-called, you know, you're keeping them off the street. So we don't want to be one-sided here, because if there is no option at all like that, then they ain't got no choice but to get into bullshit. So let's be open-minded now. Let's not be stupid with this, okay? What I want to point out, though, is with a lot of these organizations can do a lot better than what they doing if they quit just trying to throw science and technology at mental and spiritual issues, right? So these kids, you can give them science, technology, engineering, and math, but if you don't give them a daddy, they will use all of their STEM to create another generation that's even worse than them. So none of this gonna solve the problems on a humanitarian level. It's only gonna just, you know, give people who are broken the know-how to perpetuate their brokenness generation after generation, and give them the craftiness and wisdom and technology and all that to be able to project their broken state. Look at what we look at the world today. Look at the people that's in power. Sick people are in power, and as a result, look at the world we live in. Look at these police, how they do people because they power tripping, and these are people that rose to positions of power who did not deal with the spiritual and mental issues that was going on. So as a result, you got a dude with a badge on, with a license to kill, and this motherfucker needs therapy.
That's right.
It's a sad situation. And instead of focusing on the foundational problems on a mental level, because that's what government's supposed to do, they supposed to govern what? MENT,
government. You see, the government don't really govern our minds to our benefit. The purpose of them governing your mind is to control you, not to batter you. So it shows that the people in power calling themselves the government exists during a time where the mentality of man is at an all-time low, and that's by design. That's by design. So what we got going on when the people say, well, we got to save our children, they go back to the government, you know. And the programs that's implemented are like trying to put a Band-Aid on a 12-gauge wound. The programs that are implemented are us trying to put a Band-Aid on a 12-gauge shot. And we think we doing something, man.
That's right.
Guess what, yo? You'll be surprised that we focused on the mental mindset of these children and loving on them. See, it's easy to just get a group of children and have a football coach mentality. And nobody, do the kids have an opportunity to vent their most vulnerable things? Do they have a space for that? Do these children, see what I'm saying? Like, with the problems that's plaguing these children in their own demon time, just throwing science at them ain't the damn answer. We do not want to focus on the fact that black people are mentally fucked up and we're dysfunctional. And instead of us dealing with our dysfunction, we just want to go build shit and get smart. And look, I built this, and woo, it's a tech guru. He got a lot of money, but he got a lot of mental issues. We know how this thing go. You got people with a lot of money who kill themselves all the time because your success in science, technology, engineering, math, music, I don't care what industry you in, doesn't mean nothing if your mind, heart, and soul ain't right.
That's right.
A person that's mentally and spiritually broken don't even know how to enjoy none of their success and achievements. They're broken. People on the outside say, how is he always depressed and this man a millionaire? I ain't got that much money and I'm happy every day. This dude, he's a tech guru and he just committed suicide with all that money. Some of us don't understand. We don't wrap our mind around that. We equate your mental and spiritual condition to how much shit you got, or to how many successes you got, achievements, or how many bridges you built, or tech products you invented.
That's right.
How many problems inside of yourself you fixed? A man will go out there and build 10,000 bridges and won't fix 10 problems inside of his own broken soul.
That's right.
Tell me when I lie.
That's right.
A man will go out there and invent hundreds of technological inventions, but he won't invent a form of meditation in his quiet space to battle the demons from his childhood.
That's right.
Stop me when I lie, goddammit. We got broken homes and broken people, but we trying to fix buildings and fix cars and fix trucks and fix guns. We need to get into the business of fixing people.
That's right. That's right.
Why don't we point our children in a direction to solve the problems that plague them versus point them in a direction to solve the problems of rich corporations?
That's right.
How many programs encouraging children to become therapists? No, they want them to become engineers, police, firemen. I never hear somebody say, look, we should start getting children into therapy to be the next therapist. We need to be counseling our own people. Why are you going to see a shrink that looks like, hold on, you get me.
That's right.
Come on, man, come on.
That's right.
Yeah, I ain't come to play today, man. So, when we got broken people, but we trying to fix all the gadgets and shit around us, I don't see how the world gonna ever fix itself. Because the main thing that need fixing is the soul of man. And man think is everything else. He think we need better bridges. We need better airplanes. You know what? We need better cars. We need better energy systems. You know what? We need better people. We need better humans. No, they want to say we need to produce better cars. No, we need to produce better satellites. We need to really produce better human beings. That's what needs to happen.
Sánchez Cocinado.
Yeah.
Please like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe.
It's sad,
and hit the
man.
notification.
See, listen, I'm going to tell y'all the sad truth. For us to start fixing the mental and spiritual issues that plague our people, we got to fix ourselves first. And when them the odds, don't nobody get fixed. Man, a nigga rather go and fix that car down that has broken down than for him to go and really deal with the demons in his soul and fix that. He rather ignore the shit that's broken inside of him and just go build and fix something else out there, a gadget or something. That's what the world has done. AM1, what up, my brother? Salutes to the brother AM1 in the house, man. This is how I'm seeing reality. And we won't start to fix ourselves because in order for us to create therapists, like I was saying, if we want children to become the next therapist, well, a therapist got to first been to dealt with his own mental and psychological state. And don't nobody want to deal with their own self. So then them people can't go on to deal and counsel other people. We live in a world where the therapists need a therapist. And his therapist need a therapist.
That's right.
And his therapist need a therapist. But what does this prove? That the number of people who are broken mentally in the world is bigger than we think. So yeah, I just had to do a topic on this, and now I'm gonna open up the round table. But will STEM save our young ones from the perils that may lie ahead? Will it? And who would like to join me today for the discussion? At this time, we'll drop the link and we'll continue this build. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about that submarine that went missing. Shout out to the brother Ani Osaro. I'm going to be reaching out to him as well in the future, man. We're going to be talking about that missing submarine because the people, one of the guys who was on it, put it this way, it's allegedly the Titanic situation all over again, where you got these big time people that need to be out the way conveniently vanish on some shit like that. We're going to get into it deep tomorrow. I don't want to say too much about it today because I'm still looking into it.
Hey, Sanchez.
Salutes to everybody that's joining. Salutes, you, Drew, I hear you.
Salutes, brother. So what do you think about when they make the argument that we can fix our minds later, but we don't need to get left behind technologically?
Oh, I'm glad you joined with that one, man. Let's break that down. Can you say that one again? I heard you. I just want to get that one in me. Boy,
yes, sir. Yeah. We can fix our minds later, but we don't need to get left behind technologically.
Oh man, there's a lot to say about that one. What's up, citizen man? How y'all doing?
What up? I think I could take a stab at that question. I think it's a ploy to, because here's my whole premise. The premise is it can go either way with STEM. It's a double-edged sword. It's like guns. It can be used to harm or to defend, right? Just like STEM, it could be used to enslave people or it could be used to free the people. For example, TikTok. That's a technological social media platform. In China, TikTok promotes videos of, kids building machinery and learning skills and trades and that type of stuff. But then you go to TikTok here in the United States and all you see is clown videos, which is basically dumbing everybody down. So in that sense, you see the technology being applied one way to help build the society and empower the youth. And over here in America, you see the same exact technology, same platform, but it's being applied in the opposite manner to destroy society and dumb down the youth, right? So what the brother was saying about, the thoughts on, let's get into the technology before we worry about fixing ourselves. I think that's a ploy to sucker us into accepting and adopting this technology without the cognitive ability to discern whether it's being used to harm us or it's being used to help us. Thus, we'll get suckered into harming ourselves by using it. You get what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah. And I'm gonna piggyback and say this. Let's get into STEM before we get into fixing ourselves, which what the brother said, and that is what they say. And then when you think about what Citizen Man said, it's almost like the reason for that mindset is because subconsciously, I believe we believe in technology so much that we think if we fix the technology, then the technology will fix us. We think technology can fix our psychological state. It can fix. Now, I use my hammer, right? The nail, right? I use my doggone computer for social media. I like my tech and gadget. I got a lot of technology around me, right? But when it comes to fixing people, ain't a lot of technology there, and I peep that. As advanced as we are, and we got all of these tools that can fix things, it ain't none that can fix people in this world. When you go to a shrink, they just as broken as you. So it's just crazy, and it's like, I believe we think technology can fix us on all levels, even spiritual now. Technology becoming a spirituality, like.
Yeah, it's replacing spirituality is what it's doing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the therapy thing, you can't even trust the therapist these days because they're part of this corrupt medical system. Like, I give you an example, right? And I hate to get personal, but this is gonna be funny. So me and my girl, we had a couple of weeks where we would argue a lot because she's stupid. No, she's not stupid. She made me feel stupid. But we argue a lot, right? So one day I decided, I said, you know what, babe? I'm tired of this shit. Let's go talk to a therapist and figure out where these miscommunications happen so we can avoid these stupid little arguments because the shit's dumb at the end of the day, right? And she was like, cool, I'm with it. So I get online and I start looking up, couples therapy and shit like that. And every page that I came across, you got to fill out the little form with all your information and check the box, male or female, and this and that. So on every website, every section that said, select your gender, it said gender identity. And instead of just having the male and female box, that shit had like 14 different genders. I mean, trans male, trans female, transcendental. I don't know. What's that? You identify as a tooth? I don't know. But it was just a bunch of weird, like new age, nonsense that didn't make any sense. So it's like they're so bought into the propaganda that even if you go to a therapist trying to, get some mental help, they're just going to further confuse you. You know what I'm saying? Which goes to the point that you said, Sanchez, the motherfuckers need therapy too. Because if you think there's more than two genders, something is wrong with you. Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with, bro. So to fix ourselves, I think the best way to do it would be to fix each other. You know what I'm saying? Which starts with communicating, and fixing the communication is understanding that listening is a part of communication too. Because I used to have a hard time doing that. I ain't ever want to listen to it. That's why we get in them arguments all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of brothers can understand that, because we're raised to be, hard-headed and be in leadership positions, and you ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna tell you what to do because I run shit around here. That's kind of been the attitude, and I had to humble myself a little bit and actually listen to what she was trying to tell me, and things have gotten significantly better since then. And I started to realize I didn't need to go to no therapist to do this shit. I just had to look in the mirror and recognize where I was going wrong, and as I fixed that, she would then mirror my actions. You know what I'm saying? And then her shit would get corrected. And now we're in a better place, a much better place. And we didn't need therapy to do it. All we needed was each other and enough understanding and humility to listen. You know what I mean?
I can back that up. I can actually back that up. Shout out to you, Sanchez, and everyone else on the panel. This is American Nation.
Salute to my brother, American Nation.
Yeah. So last night, right? So I've been going through some stuff. I won't say what it is, but it's like personal with like family stuff, and not my immediate family, more like my lady. And at some point, something got real depressing, right? Like real depressing. And I'm not a guy who gets depressed like that, but this is my first time with this particular relationship. And I was like, okay, so let me go to the gym. Let me try to forget about it. And then I was like, let me blast my favorite music so I can get over this. So I'm blasting the music. I'm loving it. But then my buddy, my best buddy, he calls me and we started talking about my situation. And that like far outweighed my favorite music that I was trying to use to alleviate my issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We social creatures, man.
Exactly. There you go. Yep.
Hey, another thing I wanted to add to it. Just over my head. Look, check it out. So what I tell the children, right? I tell the children that, while they're growing up, they need to acquire like a lot of different skills, hand skills. Like you need to invest your time in to learn how to fix things, learn how to do this and that, because they always say they get bored. And it's because, they say idle hands is the devil's workshop, right? That means that if you're sitting up, you're bored, you're liable to get a phone call from one of your buddies and go out and get in trouble. But, I grew up, I used to fix bikes. I used to, clean cars, fix lawnmowers. I used to do gymnastics. I had always had something to do. It occupied my time. And so what I realized is I was grooming myself my whole life to become the type of man that I am, to know how to fix certain situations and things, So that's how I give back to them and tell them that, don't find yourself one day not knowing how to do this stuff, but idle hands, the devil workshop, learn how to do something, keep your mind occupied, stay focused and stay positive. That's my message. I'm gonna fall back.
Yeah, because look, man, let me say this, right? My message ain't anti-STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and math is a day-to-day part of my life. Without these 4 things, I couldn't even do the things I'm passionate about. But see, here's where the kicker is. There's something called balance, right? So with everything, you got to have balance, like, for example, Once you reach a point where your technology is at a point where it's comfortable and heaven, it is solving problems, everything is copacetic, then you don't fix what ain't broken. The problem about modern science, if it ain't nothing to fix, then guess what? The whole economy will crash. They even make products to break down after a certain while. They need a disposable world. And if you may think that I'm just saying some simple shit, but the way these folks think, they need things to break quick, right? And which is why also they look at humans that way, like they need you to deteriorate quick. They need your life expectancy to be shortened. When I'm talking about decreasing the quality of everything, like I'm trying to get you to see how they think about this shit on a capitalistic level. Just think about this. It's over 400 foods in America that we eat that's banned. Well, no, it's over 200 foods in America that's banned in over 400 countries or some shit like that overseas. To the people that think like we got the worst grading standards when it comes to food and all that shit, some third world countries, damn, they got better. I can't make this shit up, y'all. I can't make this shit up. So, but check this out, right? My whole point of all this shit is we got, if STEM is a religion, we in trouble because we got people that say, if you ain't qualified, you shouldn't speak on certain stuff. So now this shit go deeper. Like I said, you got folks with degrees and all of that that's spraying your ass with chemicals, hoping that your life expectancy gets shorter. Approving certain products on the shelf that's harmful to children, shit like that. I mean, this list goes deep, bro. You got folks that went to school in criminal justice and shit, but look at our justice system. It ain't really about getting justice at all. It's about getting a plea, getting confessions and shit like that. But so I've been pointing this out lately, how our whole approach with STEM, if it was based on you know, because when we was talking about Tartaria and all that shit, that was STEM. The Mayan Olmecs, man, the ancients were advanced. They was using STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. But see, that ain't really the problem. It's the intent of the people that's using it. Like somebody said, a gun can be used to protect a person or to rob that same person. And that's why I think, man, a lot of ancients had a lot of this science and knowledge and shit occult. I'm starting to think that, like, some wise folks say, you know what? Maybe we don't want everybody to be smart. If them evil people right there learn science, then the world gonna be in trouble. Let's not teach them science. And then in that way, I would kind of see, okay, how they started this whole secrecy with the knowledge shit. But I'm telling you, the knowledge got into the wrong hands and them people start making their own secret societies.
Yeah, and even to the point that you made about the ancient, the ancient technology being STEM, that goes right back to what I was saying, where the application of it will determine whether it'll be helpful or hurtful. Because the way we see it being applied today, it's hurting us. But the way the ancients applied it was helpful. Free energy, pure water, healing technology, that type of stuff. And I think in not abandoning that field, we can actually work our way back to that. But the difference between today's society and the ancient society was they were just much better people morally. So they didn't have it in their hearts to take advantage of one another because they had superior technology. It was more in their hearts to see the benefits of this technology and share it with everybody else so they can benefit too, as opposed to today where, you got the technology, you got the house that talks to you and all that shit. You're gonna floss on people with that and show it off to them instead of, before you decide to, teach them how you go about acquiring this or how you build this. Or like the guy in the neighborhood that builds the free energy generator. Now he's off the grid and his house got power like everybody else. He ain't gonna tell everybody else how he did that. He might tell a select few, but not everybody.
Which
Now
is what
becoming
technology is supposed to mean. The ology means logos. So the logic of tech or art. So that's the
right.
part that's missing. They don't tell you the logic behind it.
There you go. Thank
All
you.
right, salutes to the panel, man. What's up, Sanchez?
Yeah. What's good?
Man,
What's good, everybody?
chilling, man. No, it's a lot of stuff just running through my mind right now. But first of all, I just want to say that the topic is so on point because we're in a war-driven society, and if you look at it, kind of what it all boils down to, from my perspective is every technology they come out with, no matter what it is, the first thing they try it on is how to use it at war. If it's a medicine, hey, can we give it to our soldiers and make them better? If it's a drug, can we give it to our soldiers and make them better? If it's technology, how can we use this against another country? So everything they come out with is used for war. They never, like you said earlier, they never take these technologies and say, how can we use this to develop, to help the society? So when they do, it becomes the main purpose they look at using it in is a capitalistic way, just for resources and how to steal from the people. So instead of trying to develop, like y'all was saying, like back in the old days, they was using this stuff to try to make a better economy or a better world. Now they taking every technology, using this for war or how to be greedy.
Right, but shouldn't we also learn the same skills and use it against them to try to stop them? I definitely wouldn't advise anybody to enlist and lend a hand, but I think it's important to try to learn, how to combat them.
Most definitely, I think we should. But and that's where it kind of started to get tricky because what you're saying now is how do we make a different system inside of a system? And that means you got to have collective kind of mindset to where we saying, hey, look, we are under a government, and now we need to try to govern ourselves and make another system inside of that. Now, how do you develop that? That becomes a problem in and of itself.
Yeah. Personally, I think there's a place for science and technology and math. I think these are all good things, but they've been perverted and used for evil. And like, for example, science, there's so many today, you can just get practically any scientific paper on the internet if you know where to look. And I'm not saying that the scientific literature is complete or non-biased, but it's really interesting when people say, hey, we ran this experiment, we changed this variable, and this is the result. And oftentimes they misconstrue it and come to faulty conclusions, but we can still look at it and take what we want and leave the rest and use it to back up what we're trying to do.
I think the end goal of science today is ultimately to our detriment versus our good, just to simplify where I'm at when I step back and look at it. And if that's the case, right, then what's the point? What's the point of keep getting more STEM if
Well, I think we should define science because I think you have a really interesting perspective. And without defining the term, people might misconstrue what you're saying. Because you look at science as like the enemy, right?
Well, look, here's what let's say modern science, because it is a difference. And with modern science is basically, this is how I break it down. In natural ancient sciences, it was about understanding nature so that we can see our role and where we fit into nature and coexist with everything and build a utopia, sort of a balance on earth. And, and we had done that. And it created a heaven on earth type situation here on earth. And I think that modern science ain't about that. I think modern science is about understanding nature enough so you can tame it, control it, tie it down, lock it down, use computers to monitor it, study it, guinea pig, you name it. And it's all about just control, power, doing what you will, to using science to terraform and transform nature versus understand nature and just coexist in nature and be in unison and not leave a footprint. They act like they care about the environment, but the agenda of STEM as we move on into in the future is going to actually terraform and destroy the environment unlike we've ever seen before. If you've been studying these agendas, I'm sure you have, Tim. So
yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, I'm with you there. But again, I don't think like, turning away from math textbooks or understanding, the natural world is the answer. And I think that the only way to understand the natural world is through the scientific method. So when I say science, I'm talking about like the old definition, which was what we know. And I think that's been hijacked. And it's like the new religion, the new orthodoxy. They say, well, we know this. We figured this out with the scientific method. It's like, no, you didn't. You're just a tyrant,
I know a way that you can understand nature better than even the scientific method. It's a cheat code. And that's simply living in nature. In other words, you got tribes that they probably never heard of the scientific method, but I'm sure they do it, though. They just don't call it that. They observe, question, research. They do that. So, but they don't try to do it, though. They don't have a method to tell them, listen, make an observation, ask a question. If you really look at the scientific method, it makes me feel dumb that I got to use it. Because it's like people got to tell me, look, man, make a fucking observation. Ask a question, dummy. Do the research. It's like, damn, you need a list for that? Because you got people in the tribe that don't got that list, but they do this just because they live in nature. Going about their natural day-to-day duties forces them to live by this methodology without even trying to. And they more in tune and understand nature more than a person coming from the Western world who grew up learning his scientific method and going by his little list, It's crazy. I mean, I love the scientific method, but it does show you, though, that if you really look at it, what I'm saying, it is people that just simply born. Like you got animals, right, that understand environment damn near back. They do understand it better than humans. I almost look stupid then. Most of the insects, a cockroach understand nature more than a human. Who want to debate this? Who wants some smoke? A rat. Listen, if you throw a rat outside, it'll outlive a human family that you throw on the streets. And I ain't even getting into understanding nature. I'm just saying bro, we so far fucking relying on technology that
stop.
Hey, this is crazy, man. I'm gonna fall back, man. Let me pass the mic, man.
Great point.
Damn, man. I'm gonna drop the link.
Like, nah, but literally, that's real though. It's like that's fucked up. Like, you could literally toss a rat out on the street and it'll survive longer than people will. A fucking family. That's crazy.
All right, so my question would kind of be, if just kind of looking at it, I'm kind of a problem solver kind of mindset. My thing would be, how do we go about adjusting? Because Tim was saying, kind of from what I take it is that we need to kind of focus on how do we get into a situation to where we're able to survive, inside of what's going on. So that would kind of be my question. Like, how do we start to combat the situation as it is? And if I ask Sanchez or ask Tim, either one of y'all can respond. What would be your idea of how to start to combat, the trajectory?
So look, this gonna sound hopeless, but I gotta be honest. At this point, I don't think we can go backwards with STEM or tech. I think they fucking accelerated this thing to a momentous point that it's a point of no return. And that this thing got to run its course and crash. And then whichever generation that this thing crash in, woe to them. It's like hot potato though. Who is gonna crash on? So it's that generation it's gonna really be, It can be out. It can be when we get old. Who knows? It can be longer than that, but it will come because they trying to build a system that's sustainable, but they can't. And what they doing is they just keep kicking the can. They building a system that'll buy them more and more time. And the more and more time they buy, the more catastrophic the shit gonna be when it all collapses down the road. So when the whole shit fall down, it's gonna be like what happened in Babylon, Samaria, Egypt, all these grand kingdoms that expanded to this big ass point, and then, hey, what the fuck happened to them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I agree.
and that's the overarching premise. Yeah, when people say science, that's what they're talking about. But when I think about it, it's just like I want to be as intelligent as I can be, because that's what I'm trying to problem solve, like the other gentleman said. And it's crucial that we understand the reality as much as possible. So yeah, I try to observe it, but also it's interesting when people say, hey, we actually put this to the test to get through any biases, and this is what we got, and you can repeat this. And I'm not saying that all the scientific literature is correct. I think there's a ton of fraud in there. We can't really trust any given study. But it's interesting when somebody says, hey, we actually did the scientific method. Do you want to hear what we said, what we saw? And I do want to hear them out, because to me, that's understanding nature better.
Yeah, I think at a point, it does get redundant, because you say, they did the scientific method. What did they see? Something amazing, something that's so, so far-fetched to the mind that it don't really apply to the average human. And if you're able to apply it, it's not really applicable to your day-to-day living. So, it's kind of like when we talk about the flat earth or the outer space, in essence, it's almost so either one is almost so far-fetched from being applicable to your day-to-day living that it doesn't really matter. So, at a point, science goes beyond, the application of regular life. So I think one of the things that Sanchez kind of draw me in on is the average everyday human can go outside and say, I can observe this, I can look at this, I can say, hey, if it's hot, I'm gonna go up under the shade tree. That's a scientific method. Then you say, well, if I get some water, put it on my skin, it'll cool me off for X amount of hours. That kind of science is a little different, and it can't really be used against people. But in my mind, I'm saying, like, how do we take these kind of small things and make it to where when they shroud you with this big thing, like you talk about NASA or artificial intelligence, are they trying to develop these things that can reach your mind? How do the common person or the common group of people start to develop ways to combat, and I guess like Sanchez is saying, that we might just be underneath the thumb right now. We might be out of luck, but it's worth thinking about to me to just try to evaluate it and say, man, it got to be some kind of way that when we're talking about these things that we can start to look at it and say, man, we need to try to do this or that. One of the things that I talk about a lot when we talk about reparations, I know this ain't about reparations, but one of the things that people miss out on is when the topic of reparations came up, it was about the 40 acres and a mule, but it was another element. It was teaching, the Black people how to, develop their land and how to protect their land, teaching them the art of war to protect their land, which I think is the biggest part of reparations that people always overlook, because that would mean that they would be teaching people these different sciences, the science of the war, the art of war, and how to also kind of, be in competition to where if our government imposed on our land, that we would be able to combat that, which is kind of what we're saying. And it don't have to be a black or white thing at this point. It has to be against the establishment type thing, to where we're saying, hey, if our government start to use these technologies against us, how do we combat that? And I think that's an aspect that we got to start to really evaluate. We got to, we sitting in these think tanks. This is the kind of ideas that we kind of got to have now.
Yeah, and they are using these technologies against us. Some of the most advanced military-grade social engineering, mind control technologies are being weaponized on the internet.
Oh, that's true.
Most definitely.
And behind every topic of importance, like war or, say, making music, there's going to be science and technology behind it. And I think, to use the music example, I don't think anybody here would say, "Hey, don't learn the technology how to make music. Don't learn how to, don't learn the science behind music, the frequency science and stuff." We would maybe advise people, don't go work for the devil's music industry. You know, that's just corrupting children and turning people into slaves for the system. So it's just how you use your knowledge, I think.
I just think basically my title is bringing up an issue of a lack of priorities in humanity right now, because as the world suffers on a mental and spiritual level, we're diving ourselves deeper into tech. And why are we becoming more technological? Because in so many words, what they're saying is the world is out of control. But the world is out of control because most of the world suffering on a mental level. That's a result of what society has programmed in the first place through music, through television, all kind of self-esteem issues, fucked up diets, fucked up environment. They know what they're doing. So they make the world out of control. Then they say, look at the world, it's gone mad. We need drones. We need AI to help us police. We need more tech, the people out of control. And it's like the more out of control, you know, it's the more need for government. You know what I'm saying? Like the more need to increase government measures, making government more. When they say, well, the world is getting more technological, they should really say the world is getting more controlled, and we're using technology to control it better and better.
The big
Hey,
facts.
Sanchez, I ain't mean to interrupt you, but I gotta fall off. All right, I got a phone call and it went low, so I know you're gonna have a lot of people want to hit the panel or whatever. But man, I had to get up here today because yesterday was fire, bro, and I missed it. So, but yo, salute y'all. Carry on. I'm gonna just go back to the regular show and just watch. All right.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Salute, Daryl.
Sanchez, what's up, panel? Much
What's
love,
good,
y'all. What's
Daryl?
good?
Much love.
Hey, Daryl.
Man.
Chilling, man, chilling. You know, just got off work, up here cooking some meal and everything, and checking y'all out, man.
Yo,
what y'all
you know I gotta ask you what you eat, man.
I mean, some pork loin, fam. Carnivore, baby. Pork loin.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I'm eating meat now. It's a process, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yo, bro, Sanchez, I mean, maybe I shouldn't ask this question. I think about a year ago you said I think you answered that question. I'm just now thinking about it. But do you have solutions? I think I asked that question before. Do you got solutions? Because, bro, man, you throwing it deep on us, man.
Oh, shit. Okay, what you need a solution for?
No, I'm just saying, like, like the politics and what they doing, man. Like, is there any kind of counter attack we could come with? You know, like
to which point to some in particular?
Well, what y'all just got you talking about? I kind of just came in. I heard a bits and pieces of what y'all was talking about, but I assume that it's got something to do with the government or trapping us some kind of way.
Shit. Hey,
I like doing that to go crazy. I like throwing them on the spot.
God damn.
You my man. You all right.
Shit. Oh man, yeah. What we was talking about, right, was basically how much can STEM help us and hurt us moving forward into the future.
Oh, okay.
relying, saying that basically STEM is the end all be all to humanity's problems. Is that gonna bite us in the end, or is it we gonna look back and say, oh shit, we was right, man? Yeah.
You know how they say, with great power come great responsibility. I think if it's used in the correct way, I think it will help for people that need it. That's my opinion.
For people that need it.
I agree.
Yeah, if they need it, why not?
Well, I'm agreeing to you that STEM can help us individually. I was just saying I got a stream deck, right? But let me drop a bomb right quick. Boom. That's a result of STEM right there. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this right here though. How much gadgets do the world need before it's too much? Ain't too much anything. Too much water drown you, but I need enough to quench my thirst. When I was talking about balance, right? We got a government, right? And whether you think we need a government or not, that's besides the matter. I want to make a point. Too much government will be like a totalitarian state or some shit, right?
Right.
Too much of anything won't be. Too much parenting is not good for your children. We know too much of anything is fucking, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But we don't act like too much STEM is a problem. We act like you can't have enough science or tech or engineering and math. And hold on, my thing is those things by themselves is harmless. But when we put them all together, STEM has a near future agenda and a way that it's trying to see the world on a smart grid, terraformation, transhumanism, and all that. They under STEM, they want men to be able to give birth. You know that?
Yeah. They definitely, man.
So that's when I said how much is enough. Nobody.
But go back to. Yeah. Yo, but go back to that movie. You know Billy Crystal, right? He was an '80s superstar actor. He was a comedian, and he had a movie called Rabbit Test, and that's what that was about. A man having a baby. Dude, you gotta check it out.
That's crazy, man.
It's crazy, dude. It's called Rabbit Test. Billy Crystal and damn, I forgot the supporting actor that was with Billy Crystal. But yeah, man, they've been saying that back in the 80s, man, that he was trying to have a man, what man can have a baby. But he's still a man though. He wasn't acting like a woman.
But that's what I'm saying though. To this thing, when we talk about science, we should stop that's blurring it. That we should say. Because I fuck with science. I like science. I like the scientific method. I don't like the agenda of science today. I think because when people say, well, they don't like science, they fucking hating on science. It do make us look stupid. And I don't think we really hating on science. I think we really got pushback for what they're doing. Because science itself is a powerful tool. Can we admit that? That if you understand scientific method and you're a nerd and shit, you kind of somewhat a god in a way. You understand mechanisms. You can build shit, right? So you now need a system of checks and balances on some moral shit. What will allow you to manifest into the world or not?
Right.
And that don't exist. That don't exist, man. The people in power can use their smarts and wit to manipulate us on a biological level, microscopic level, macroscopic level, and it ain't nobody to check it or nothing. Dude, if you burn a fire too long in your backyard, the police will be knocking on your door. But these folks can go and just do what the fuck they want in environment, no matter how much of a big effect it's gonna have on this generation, and that's none of that shit, bro. And they can terraform they can terraform your environment as I speak in front of your face, dude. And you too, without no and there's no system of checks and balances with that shit is what I'm saying. Ain't no group of people saying, well, no, we not for spending our money for scientists to research this bullshit. No, we don't want scientists spending our tax dollars to research that men giving birth. No, that's wasting money. Let's put it over here. No, we don't want them spending our money to research diamond planets. That's a cash cow. No, let's cut that. See, that don't exist. This kind of power don't. We think we got power, but listen what I'm saying. But I'm gonna fall back, man.
No,
I mean, there's. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Sanchez hitting it for real now, because as we talking about it, and that's what it boils down to, is snowballing into a political situation. Because when you start to look at it, what we really saying is, hey, look, if we was able to look at what's going on, and we was able to, as a collective, as the people, start to vote on things, and things was going to happen the way that we voted that they was going to happen, then it wouldn't really be a problem then, would it? Because what happens is, let's take an example that Sanchez just used. Let's say, okay, we finna go mine, we finna go explore and look for a diamond planet. And we come out and we say, you know what? Whatever president say he's not gonna do that, that's who we voting for. Then we collectively vote for that guy. Then what happens is, in politics, they go do it anyway. Or the CIA go do it anyway. CIA, get some lobbyists or whatever, however they do it, and they fund it, and they go do it anyway. And then 10 years from now, the next president come in and he said, hey, we finna go look for a diamond planet. Well, we just already said we didn't want to do that. And now y'all come back around and just, bring in the next guy who say he gonna do it. And that's really kind of what we facing, is that, with the question of how many gadgets do we need? Well, the gadgets in and of themselves are not going to be the problem. Is that you look at it and you say, well, the NSA, has given the government the right to spy on everybody. So now the gadget's not the problem. Is what do they have the rights to do with the gadgets that becomes the bigger problem. So now you're saying, hey, are we able as a collective to say, you know what? This is the problem we have. This is what we need to take to our government. We don't want y'all to have these gadgets and have the right to spy on everybody. We want to have freedom in our household. We want to have freedom on our phone. We want to be able to think thoughts without y'all trying to listen to our thoughts. We want to be able to look at our TV without y'all looking in our face all day. These are the problems that we have. Whichever president come in that's going to make sure that we have these rights as a people, that's who we voting for. Okay.
Well, bro,
now,
okay, go ahead.
No, I'm through right here. Now the problem is, once we get that guy in, does he apply that? Does he implement it? And then once he implement it, the next guy come in, can't go back and change it and say, hey, you know what? Well, because of war, we gotta be able to take advantage of our people again. And go back into this same cycle that they keep using. No, we'll go to war and then we'll use that against our people. So that's the problem that I think we having with the science and the gadgets and stuff. And like Sanchez said, until a crash happened, it's like we up against a monster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I mean, you're right in what you're saying, but at the same time, too, though, I mean, you got to look at the government's agenda. What is their main agenda? Like, man, I was just talking to somebody. I said, man, every single day, there's always some type of killing around the world. Every single day, whether it's car crashes, whether it's gun shooting, whether it's war, there's always some type of killing going on. Okay, and I know a part of me feels, and the way the media keeps reporting this stuff, it's like they're trying to. I don't want to say trickery. I want to say the government is trying to get you to show this. The reason why we need to come into your privacy is because we don't know what the next motherfucker is doing, and if he's gonna shoot somebody or kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always some type of agenda to and try to convince the people. hey, yes, we need this, because I'm sick of this. When you get to that point, that's when usually things starts to happen. I think it's just like that. Just like in Europe, they've been started that microchip in your skin. There's quite a few people that got that microchip in your skin. They got everything, every information on there. Your medical records. You could use your credit card, in your skin and everything. But now they're trying to bring it over here to America and put it like in, they're trying to get it in babies or put it in dog pets. It's all of that just in case they run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like when you think about it, it makes sense because nobody wants to lose their pet. Nobody wants to lose their kids. So, it's kind of like they trapping you in a way where, damn, you know what? This does make a lot of sense, but damn, at the same time, my privacy is going to be invaded.
Yeah, well, it's getting you to accept, desensitize you to a police state. And so this is what we know is coming. And this is, the other day we was having a conversation about being enslaved mentally. And I was pushing back on the fact that we're not really enslaved mentally. And they were saying we are because we so entrapped in the comfort of what they tell us that we'll accept anything. And so it's not that we entrapped in it. It's that they are able to just slowly reel us in into something that we know is coming. We know they're trying to pull us into this new world order, in this police state. We know that after that it's going to be, martial law and all this stuff. We know that they pulling us into this, but it's so enticing to say, hey, you know what? We able to stop these criminals, before they act. Well, hold on.
But that's
you're
what
not
I'm
really
saying.
doing your
Right. We're
job,
saying
are
the
you?
same thing. You're right.
Yeah, I know.
The same thing. Right.
Yeah, we saying the exact same thing. But you said the key thing when you came on, and I think you might have been hearing what I was asking Sanchez, because you came in and asked him the same thing, because we could talk about it till we blew in the face, and it's an interesting topic to evaluate. And I think what we're doing now is expanding on the importance of it. But at the same time, we got however many people in the feed right now, and it'll be people who go on and listen to this. And the question is, where is the solution? How do we start to say, you know what? One of my key things that I remember is Stokely Carmichael saying, these people are uncivilized. What do they know about being civilized? They've never been civilized. They've never showed us anything to show that they're able to be a civil government. But yet and still they want to say, hey, you know what? This is for civil rights. This is for civil this, civil that. It's not what it is. So we know that as they start to reel us into these little things, and they give us this, and they say, well, you know what? For example, they say, okay, well, 9/11 happened. Now, because of 9/11 happened, because somebody supposedly took a plane and supposedly did what they did, then now, we got to be hella evasive. And we got to be able to just pry into everything. And so now, every time you push a button on your phone, it goes back to what we were talking about Black Mirror, for those of y'all who haven't seen it, to where now when you push a button on your phone, they're able to take your whole rights, take your whole person, and probably sell it, give it to Google, and your whole image and stuff is probably being sold off to the government without you knowing, and it's all because they said, hey, well, this happened in this day, so this, But, just to sum it up, we saying the exact same thing, but it's trickery, because if we able to take this to the government, and if we start to push these agendas before they get too far down the road, is what I'm getting at. Because right now it's not on nobody's running. Like, nobody is running on the idea of protecting the citizens from artificial intelligence. If we start to approach our officials and politicians with this while it's in the birthing stages, and start to say, hey, look, we need somebody to, not only are we worried about our reparations so we can try to protect ourselves, but we also need a politician to say, look, we're going to protect our citizens from this type of attack, or, from these things in the future. We implement something to protect out from that. Then we can say, hey, look, this is the politician we're gonna go after. This is the politician we're gonna support. What's up, brother?
I can hear my mic. Shout out to Willie North Pole in the house, man. Let's drop a bomb. Sure.
Hey, shout out to you, big bro. Every time I come through, I hate to interrupt. You always show me love, man, and I hate to interrupt the brother speaking. But I just want to let you know, Sanchez. My son knows a lot about you, bro. You know, it's a generation that's coming up. My son is 11, and he knows about Drop. He knows about Bobby. I listen to y'all all the time. You get what I'm saying? So I think in the future, when the internet something's going to happen to where your teaching probably is not going to be available, bro. Do you think that there's going to be a way to keep this community alive in the future? I be thinking about shit like this, and I don't know if I'm going off subject, but sometimes, you know, I'd be a little, because it's very important for people to know this ancient cosmology, this flat earth, this symbology, the sacred geometry, etymology, all that shit, bro. This shit is real, and this is the only place we get it from. You get what I'm saying?
So, well, I'm gonna have, my plan is to back up all of my shit that I've put online I'm gonna get terabyte drives and shit. I already started it, but I really want to have, you know, different backups, drives and shit, books, all of this stuff, man. That's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, all we can do for real. But I mean, I think that with this flat earth shit though, it comes and goes in this simulation. It's like a group that comes and goes. It's like a graduating class. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I just have one more question, and I swear I'll let y'all go, because a lot of you brothers are highly intelligent, man. I learn from y'all, bro, all y'all. Sanchez, when you as far as the STEM situation, obviously the world is getting bullied by these people in a bad way with STEM. Do you think that there's going to be a way to ever stop it, or just something that we're never going to see in our lifetime? The world's going to pretty much be fucked up, 10 years from now, 5 years from now.
Well, the way that STEM work is under the concept of modern science. Modern science, that the way that they learn, and so the ancestors were in tune with their environment. They studied things because they lived in unison with those things, had a genuine love for those things, and then they gained a lot of insight on the world around them through spiritual approach. Today, science, if it want to understand a thing, it take the thing and it smashes it apart and then study the little pieces. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Now, so if you think about that approach, you really don't learn the thing that you trying to study. You learn how to destroy it subconsciously. You just learn, you learn this science is founded upon, basically, if the agenda of it is to control, then its approach to how it comes to understand how to control and the subjects it want to control can be relentless.
Correct. Okay, I get you. Okay,
so
thank you.
That's my whole thing with STEM, and like I was saying, I don't really got a problem with science. I think in a utopia world, it would be advanced civilizations using some form of advanced high technology that's so advanced is giving a zero effect to the environment. We'd be like, yo, this place got all the beautiful environment and perks and the beautiful clean water and all that, but still is advanced with tech though. And that's what I'm talking about. Green tech is talking about the heart chakra is the green chakra. Yes. Man can be smart, but if he don't have a good, everything in this realm is based on intent. So even if you smart, but your intent is evil, we can manifest a hell outside versus a heaven, just because we can be evil geniuses too. Genius don't mean that you a good person. It just means you smart. And most of the smartest, wise men in the world today use that to control the world, and that's manifesting hell on earth.
Wow. Wow, drop a bomb on that. Wow. Good shit, bro. Appreciate it. And what's up to the panel? Shout out to everybody out there, man. I'm enjoying this all the time, brother.
Hey, much respect to you, Willie North Pole, for hopping
Thank
on
you,
with
sir.
us, man. Yeah,
Always.
we glad to have you.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
sir.
pass the mic around, man. However y'all wanna do it and share that thing.
I just want to say real quick, I don't think all of the scientists involved are evil. I think a lot of them got into this for the right reasons and are trying to do research that they find important and publish it. And it's actually really interesting to read some of their papers because they'll I'm getting some feedback. Because they'll actually go through all the literature before them on the topic, and they put all the references at the bottom, and you can go look at those papers up and just follow all the breadcrumbs. It's kind of interesting. And so I respect those types of scientists, and I don't want to throw them under the bus. But there are a lot of really evil people, like working on mass genocide and war and all these really awful things when you look at how it's going to be applied in the future. So to hell with those people. But I do think science has a place. That's my stance.
Yep.
But you gotta understand, it ain't really about science though. It's about who's controlling the scientists.
Right.
And that's kind of like where the discussion going. If immoral people are the people that run this world, they don't understand nature and all that like that, and music and humans and interacting with people. They understand control and power, but they can hire people to understand all that other shit. And that's where all these smart men come at, that knows, hey, this kind of music in this area will achieve this result. This kind of shit, right? They got all of these surveys, and this is where science come in to show how to capitalize. See, science supposed to solve problems, but when science is now with the Hegelian dialectic, where you want to create problems to solve them and control and all that for power and all that, then that's what we pointing out. I gotta keep clarifying. I ain't beefing on science. I'm beefing on the scientists. And like Tim said, they got into it for good reasons, probably. Just like a dude joins the military thinking that he's protecting his country when he's really protecting corporations that don't give a about him. That if he
they find out real quick.
Yeah.
The scientists. Sorry, I just want to add this one line.
No,
they find out real quick that they don't get funding unless they go along with the program, and that's where they get stuck. So I think it's important that people have a way to sustain themselves without having to, get the funding for their science, and then use it to propel themselves even further with that knowledge for the right reasons.
Well, peace, Tim. Peace, Sanchez. But you got to remember, man, science is a religion. When we look at it in its entirety, they got a belief system. They got certain things they don't abide by, certain things they don't pertain to. Science is just a religion, man. And you got the one at the top who controls the religions of science. And that's the problem with science. We have allowed it to become a religion.
I
Is that
mostly
even
agree.
science?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I mostly agree with what you guys are saying, but I feel like they've hijacked this crucial term. It's like them saying, well, we have the truth, and we say, oh no, screw truth. No, we shouldn't say screw science. We should say screw these people pretending to fly the banner of science when they just are pushing propaganda and lies.
Or we don't understand when we say screw truth or something like that, they actually will go and trademark truth and put a different nomenclature and definition behind it. But I think, Tim, what you brought up was an interesting point, especially about like the scientific paper. That's a whole establishment within itself, as far as like, trying to get your work approved, and you can only really like research stuff that's approved to get funding. I'm pretty sure all of us grew up, as all of us that are probably here on this panel were probably young kids that wanted to be scientists at one point. We probably looked at the TV shows and have just always had that mind for like stuff, and that's probably why we're all gathered here, because we got that similar interest. But along the way, like you say, you got to feed yourself, and you like, man, I wanted to study this. And I mean, it's like if you don't even go through the establishment, the schools, and write the right kind of papers and know the right people, your stuff is not even hitting the light of day. On top of the fact that the whole people that own the publishing. It's all about publishing scientific papers, and it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy to create policy for something. So you're funding scientists to write papers, and then they base the policy off the papers that they were funding the scientists to research. So it's very circular logic.
100%. That's such a great point. That's crucial for people to understand. But I think a lot of times they'll, within their papers, if you know how to read them and understand what you just said, they'll have to actually present real data a lot of times. But then they'll misconstrue it and write at the top like, oh, this supplement has anti-cancer properties or something. You look into the fine print, it's like, how'd you come to that conclusion? They just spin it a certain way. But if you go look at their data, a lot of times you can find interesting relationships that exist in nature between different variables. And
right. It's almost like reading. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was just going to say it's just like reading the Bible with a concordance. You look at the annotations and make sure you understand the word or what the writer means when they said it in this context. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think that the problem Tim was pointing out, I think the real thing is that we're most so talking about the consensus of science, that mainstream line of what's being considered science. I don't think we actually pinpoint science itself as that, at least as the corrupted part, because it's really the mainstream consensus that we follow as our science, but the true science is not being put in the consensus. It's being dodged by the consensus.
And within the consensus, they're trademarking and copyrighting ideas. So that within itself kind of, I feel like, holds back science when itself, if everybody is racing to patent and trademark ideas, and you can't research this because this is hidden or locked under somebody else's patent. I mean, it's really hard to even really research science if you got to go through so many, legal loopholes and wormholes anyway. So I just feel like you got science, people that want to understand a body of knowledge. Then you got the proprietary knowledge of like patenting ideas and owning the ideas as a body of knowledge, and the political side of it.
Okay,
right.
what's the definition of science?
What we know. That's mine.
To know.
And to add to what he was saying, I think it's really interesting too that the what was I going to say? Shoot, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, the basic of science is to know, and the study of the unknown and the mysterious, according to Einstein. That was his definition.
Right, but then there's the colloquial definition of science, which is just turn your brain off and let the authorities tell you what to think. That's what it's turning into. And whoever said before, I think it was you, Madon, that said it's religion. It very much is. And they've reframed it to be like, oh, you don't even need faith anymore because this is true and correct. So just we'll tell you what to think and you believe it. And It's not even belief. It's not faith. It's true. It's like it just, went to religion 2.0 where it's true now. Like
it's like this is our truth, and you will follow suit along with everybody else that believes it's true.
Or you're anti-science heretic. Yeah.
Right.
This is what truth is in this realm.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a very good comparison to religion too, because the scientists become like the prophets of the Lord God science. And if we come speaking for this God, you just got to bow down to what we say, because we speaking out of the great, good book of science.
Right.
Right. The high priests. And it's its own class. They have very cushy jobs. All they have to do is just really play ball and go to bat for this agenda.
Exactly.
Bro, we knew we was fucked up and they was doing too much when they decided they coming out with some new commandments and people just went for it.
That is true though. I forgot about that. They came out with some new commandments. Did they really accept that? Is it really published right now?
Well, I would go to say the religious people probably they didn't even really see that or pay no attention to that shit. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm pretty sure my grandma and them, they ain't thinking about that new climate commandments. They don't even know about it probably.
Right.
Because they culturally, they're more culturally religious.
That's the thing, though. Hold on. That's the thing, though. They're not doing it for your grandmama now.
Right.
They doing that for our kids. You feel me?
Right.
It ain't even for us that even know about this shit right now. It's for the kids. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they gonna some niggas gonna get their butt whooped by that new thing. They gonna say, well, did you follow the 10 new commandments? They're gonna get in trouble. They ain't been following that
See,
shit.
that's gonna be the new age parents, man.
Come on with a
Man,
black
this girl gonna
robot
be
because he was littering and shit.
Hey, the
Oh
Bible
my
be doing
God,
shit
help
like
us.
PlayStation now. G, the Bible come with DLC and shit. Now you can get your new downloadable content this season. They gonna
Right.
start coming out with some new shit every season around this motherfucker, like Call of
It
Duty.
don't. It only take one generation to change, bro. That's the craziest part about all this, bro.
Right,
It's gonna happen faster than we think, bro.
Yeah, no, that's what's crazy about that. That it happens. It happens in our time, and I'm only 25.
Right.
It happens in
Right.
our time that we see this shit changing. The whole paradigm is shifting.
Mm-hmm. And you know why? You know why? See, what we got to understand, science is done by a collective. It's not based on individuality most times. It's people in labs and groups. And that's how science is expanding so rapidly in technology when it comes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And it's a beautiful thing, man. And we should motivate our kids to be in those subjects so they can be ready for the
I mean,
world.
to an extent, I can agree. But I got a lot of people when I go live on Instagram. A lot of people debate me and try to say, well, you know, transhumanism is the next stage of evolution and it'll save humanity. So what y'all think about that?
That's the agenda. That's where everything is heading to.
Again, it sounds very religious.
Yeah, let me show you how much of crazy that is. Transhumanism can't save humanity. It can transform humanity, and at that point, you won't be human no more.
Right.
Yep, transferred over to another type of living existence, not our original selves, but recreated.
Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to the bill. Thanks for joining.
Okay.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I was downloading the app, but you had said earlier how science can be used for something evil. And I normally don't watch regular shows because I'm a documentary type of person. But I was watching Breaking Bad, and it struck me how this scientist teacher started making meth in that show, and he was taking his science and using it for something evil, and he didn't even care about the lives he was killing and all of that, trying to make money for his family. And I was like, wow. So when you brought up that scientists could be used for evil, I was like, man, that Breaking Bad was a perfect example.
That's interesting because Heisenberg on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because he's the stereotypical nerdy guy, teacher, did everything right. And then when he became like a kingpin, he was just more excited about cooking up the best product and having that name. He didn't care about the money. He was driven by the science and the notoriety.
But you know that.
And then even that nerdy aide
we gonna do.
Even the aide he had, and then they ended up killing him. You know.
Hey, but that's what's so deep about what Sanchez is saying about the scientists that can use their science for bad. Because now when we look at the medical industry and the drugs that we use as medicines, it's nothing but a bunch of scientists in the laboratories coming up with these concoctions. And that's what's running the whole industry.
Well, you forget
Science.
the lawyers too. The patent lawyers is what's driving the drug research, because they'll sit up there and change one molecule and patent that shit, and then put a 10-year thing on it, and got the price locked in through the government.
It all comes from the garden, so it's like it's a lack of knowledge on you knowing how to heal yourself. The minute you become dependent on somebody to heal you, you at their will. So you know what I mean? You're literally taking their word for it. You know what I'm saying? It's niggas out here that don't want to listen to Granny say, go get the clove out the yard and grind it up and put it on your sore tooth. They'd rather go get that Orgeal, or, you know what I mean? Just have a doctor yank it out their mouth.
Now, is there another word for that though? Like, would you even consider that as science, although it would still kind of take the same understandings to mix the right stuff?
A word, but this is what I'm saying. A word ain't nothing but the vibration. You see what I'm saying? A word is nothing but a vibration. They've done the experiment where if you write the word love on rice or write the word hate on rice, it'll get a vibration. But they've also done the experiment where if I say the word love with hatred, it's gonna give I could be like, look at a ball of rice, be like, I love you. And that rice go hear the vibration of love is hate. And I could look at the other ball of rice and be like, man, I hate this rice. I hate, with a smile on my face, and that rice gonna grow because all the rice don't give a fuck about the word. It's the vibration of the word.
Well, here's the experiment that I examined, right? They take a plant, you can take water and different stuff like that. Some stuff will grow deformed, and some stuff will grow healthy, bright, and all that, depending on what vibrations. Even a lot of plant growers out here on the West Coast. I was at one of my dude's spot. He owned his own business and shit. It's called the Buffet. It's a place where you can just come in and smoke weed like a bar, like a buffet, not a buffet. But
oh, that's hot.
Yeah, he showed me his plants and shit. This dude baby his plants. He was in his garage and shit. But he was saying how he talked to him, how he was like, this strand right here, you know, I'm playing this song for him, this music. It was hit me in his garage like, yo, it's so much to growing this shit I didn't even think about that. He was like, yeah, I'm experimenting with a strand where I'm growing it under this kind of light and I'm playing this kind of music to it. And I talk to him every day, and you know, and I'm like, yo, this shit is deeper than I thought with
you
these
ain't never seen a plant dance
bro.
before. Like I had a plant when I used to make beats. My homie got me a big ass cactus plant and an aloe vera plant. When I get to, man, it may just be me on some high shit. When I really get to making a beat and that beat rocking, I look at them plants. Them motherfuckers be over there vibing and like little shaking and shit.
Hey,
I be like, oh,
that's a fact, bro.
Jamming, shit, nigga.
I can definitely attest to you on that, bro. I've seen plants literally dance to music. They might not dance like us, but they'll like tweak a little bit, shake a little bit.
Yeah, they gonna vibrate a little bit, right?
But besides the dance, though, what kind of tones are around a plant will influence its quality in a strand, and I ain't know that to then. I didn't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I was saying it was the tone of what the lady said to the rice, the different rice bowls, because she said love and hate in one experiment. Then she did the experiment where she said change the tone of love like you saying it in a hateful way, and change the tone of hate like you saying it in a loving way to show like it's all about the vibration. You know what I mean? We usually don't say hate with a smile on our face. It's like, I hate you. But think about it, if you be like, man, I hate you, man. You get on my nerves. And nigga, I hate you. Like, a person ain't gonna receive that the same way. You know what I mean?
But that's crazy. I do that all the time. I be
it's
hating
definitely tone. Yeah.
Yo, I be hating y'all motherfuckers, especially when y'all be cracking on each other, man. I be hating y'all because I be laughing so hard.
Hey, no, but I think that's so powerful though, because imagine what the effects of being around running water for the plants are like, being around chirping birds and stuff. You ain't around a lot of these crazy sounds. These plants probably grow beautifully.
Oh man,
I think that's why we say old
Brother
folks be having. That's why you
Sanchez,
say your grandpa be having that farm
I
strength and
appreciate
shit.
your work, but when you put the lost history of flat earth, and they were showing how the water was going through the organs, and it was the original holy water, and all that blew me away.
That was fire for real.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was fire.
You know
for
what?
real.
I'm gonna revisit that documentary, and I'm gonna go back, replay it, review 5 hours over. It may take me a week, but I'm gonna do it.
Hey, that was to me, that was the most powerful one you done put up outside of his story and her story.
But you know
that
what's
blew
crazy?
me away.
You know
and
what's
the Tartarian was good.
I was just finna go into the airships. That's the one with how we had the airship shit. That right there was deep too, cause it was like
Yeah, that one was fire.
I was recently listening to this Indian guy, and he was standing in front of Devil's Tower in the background, and he was talking about how that was the great tree, the mother tree, and how all the roots of that tree is going through all the earth and connected to all the trees and the grass and everything that's connected. It's all connected together.
Yep, that's where that old proverb come from. That's when they say all is connected, everything is connected. Because
have you done something on that, or are you planning on?
Guess what? I'm gonna give you a sneak peek real quick right here, right? So everybody talking about this polite shit. I'm gonna try not to even get into this, man. So all is connected. Watch this. So these lines on this map connects, it connects, it's a magnetic ley lines. This is like the skeletal frame for our, if you build a house, right, you can't see like the planks and boards and the infrastructure, the skeletal frame, like the frame of a car. So that's what these poles represent here. But when they say all is connected, it's because these lines run through the entire cosmos. This is what's supporting our whole reality. So it's connected like a frame is connected to a car, and it's layered. So what I'm showing right here is another one right here. Watch this. You'll know this symbol here, the black hole sun symbol. It's the magnetic ley lines on this same map. But all of them are connected. They connect all things like the internet. It's like all of these lines can go to a different point. Like these is making the time zones. Reality is being fed from this central source here. But this is what I'm saying about when you say all is connected. I'm just giving a little sneak peek here. I ain't really going deep. I can obviously go deeper than this, but I don't want to. That's just a plain, simple way. Check this out. You can look at this AE map and you can pull a brain up. And guess what you got? A whole bunch of neural highways running to the middle, which is the pineal gland where the North Pole at. Everything is connected on a spiritual level, but on a physical level, we get this illusion of separation. But what if I had a bunch? Watch this, right? What they trying to do in the future, they're trying to build what's called a IoT. And what the IoT is, that's the Internet of Things, right? That means a world where everything around you is connected online, ain't nothing offline. The shoes you wearing, the paper, the damn booger in your nose is on motherfucking line. But check this out, right? So what if I told you we already live in a simulation in a metaverse, some sort of quantum computer? Jason Brashears backed me up on that. And everything inside of this simulation is connected to the same software that's running the simulation. So we think we separate, right? But everything is connected via wireless connection, an ancient IoT that we were already born into, an Internet of Things. A noun is a person, place, or a thing, but a person is a thing and a person. What if I told you that you as a human, you are a person, place, and a thing, all in one? Then check this out, right? I know I'm blabbering on, but I'm trying to show you something.
No, that was hard, bro. That was hard as hell.
Yeah, because you're a person. We know what that is, but you're a place, though, because you're a whole universe. Inside of your mind, you're a whole location too. You know what I'm saying? And you are a grid point coordinates on this AE map, but you're mobile though. I can pinpoint your location. We all, anything, all matter occupy a point on a grid. It need a place. And so I'm just being simple, but showing you everything is connected on this grid. In this system, ain't nothing offline. And what's connecting all of the magnetic beams on this earth, they're magnetically connected to these ley lines. So whichever lines run through your area, this is what's power. These are like the electricity cords that's powering our simulation. But we run it like if I got a generator in my house, right? But I got a whole acres of land. And I want to run this power, though, to my other properties on my land. I'm going to have to build my own little totem poles. I'm going to have to build a line from the generator and run it throughout my land. But what you will notice is that I'm going to have lines running in a 360 degree all around that generator because my land is all around that generator. It'll make sense for me to put my energy source in the center of my land and feed the power outward and around that source, just like we see here. You see what I'm saying? So, and this the pattern it'll make. It's what we saying is like it ain't very complicated stuff when it comes to the flat earth and how this shit built. Like, you know, that's why I show you the TP poles. What makes it complicated, we don't understand the secrets of holography and how the physical reality, as solid and dense as it feel, is nothing, is light. That's gonna go away, biodegrade, and it ain't gonna even be here no more. We're light fading in and out. So that's the part where I think, but everything is connected like a spider web. If you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Sanchez, I was gonna say also, you say Internet of Things. I've heard that term also referred to as the Internet of Bodies.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the language I've been hearing them using. So that, you know, that go right into what you're saying.
Yep, y'all proving the Bible. Go ahead.
And to help it and to help it simplify for my brain, how I looked at it, just like you showing on this picture, it's like the veins coming from the heart, the blood that pumps out the heart to all the different parts of the body. It's the hair and all they all got their own little pores, but they all stretch back to the same scalp. So that's how it helped me understand it right there, breaking it.
So do you believe in evolution?
How do you go from
how
do you get
Oh my
evolution
God.
out of that?
What, brother?
Because how I get that out of that, because on one hand, someone would say every organ in our body came about by happenstance or by chance. But when we look at every organ in our body, we can see that it's an organ, it's a machine. It have things that does things like people working in factories when you study molecular biology and things like that. So the only reason I bring that up to show that basically like Sanchez saying we're working wirelessly. So we working wirelessly, right? Who's to say the Most High and different entities ain't controlling a lot of our thoughts?
Okay, so listen, man. When we go to bringing up facts about electromagnetism and how all is connected, that ain't an opportunity, right, to bring in the spookism. All right, hold on. I want everybody to mute up because we got a lot of wind in the background. Hold on a second. Check this out, right? Here's what's going on. We can't prove the Most High. We can prove magnetic ley lines. I can prove that there's a force in me equivalent to your God. But then if I go by your God's literature, it's telling me ain't nothing powerful than him. So this place really ain't a place to. That's why I was telling you, like when you talk like everybody here is Christians. You don't know how to have a conversation outside of projecting your beliefs on everybody. So my thing is this, Madon, just to be simple. I don't know nothing about no Most High. Outside of me, my mind, and my capabilities. I'm my own worst enemy, and I'm my greatest guardian angel. I'm my greatest keeper. I can be my worst enemy, and I can be my greatest help. You find out in life that that's a very independent mindset to take. It's a very way to take accountability, responsibility. Even if there's people that's hating on me and stuff, I'm not gonna say, man, they the reason I didn't do it. I'ma always say, what did I do wrong? What could I do wrong? I'm my own little God, my own little shit I'm running, right? It ain't based on like the Bible and that. And it's so blissful, it's so peaceful. It's all in my control. If I fail, I can examine it and do it. If I don't, then hey. But if God fail me, what I'm gonna do with that? If God, for God to bless me, I got to wait. He ain't never on time, but he always on time. Remember that one, Daryl? He ain't always on. How that shit go?
He may not come when you need him.
God
He
is
may not
always
come when
on
you
time,
need him, but
right?
he'll be on time.
He's in on time.
Right there.
Well,
Yeah.
It is right there, right?
Well, Sanchez, I was just showing the parallel. I was showing the parallel because you said well, all things are connected, and a lot of things are connected wirelessly. So And
But how did you connect that to evolution though?
Well, you were speaking on the body and the body parts and things like that. And so certain science, because we're still talking about STEM. So certain science will tell you that this stuff, all your heart, your liver, your kidney, your brain, all of this happened by chance. So if we're going to talk about STEM, we got to deal with those as well, because we got to deal with the fact of how these organs come about, not just how they work. I mean, how they're constructed, how they built. And when we look inside that, we can see that there's a program put there by something, whether someone want to call it the Most High, whether someone want to call it the universe or whatever, but we can clearly see that it was a program put inside mankind to create the organ called the heart, liver, kidneys, and etc. That's all.
Either you attributing it to
evolution? Can you believe in evolution and the Most High?
No, I don't believe in evolution. Never did, never will.
My interpretation, I'm a self-proclaimed historian, and with all the different things that I study, what I came to the conclusion is my interpretation of God is everything in existence, the Almighty All, everything is in existence is God. And God is what? A vibration. What he looks like? Electricity. Every atom vibrates at a certain frequency. The faster the vibration, the more limber the matter. The slower the vibration, the more solid the matter. Everything here is vibrating and moving. It's just on dimensions that we can't see it on.
And Madon, do you know that all, like, according to science, all organs are made of the same types of cells? They're just like organized into their different, roles or whatever, but they're all made of the same cells. Like all cells for all organs are the same.
Well, to a degree, but when you start to study what they call proteins, when you start to study proteins and amino acids, right? When you look inside these things, right, they're a tiny machine. There's tiny machines doing work, picking up stuff, taking cells and things here.
Protein? Really?
Molecular,
yeah, man. Do you know that the word protein is a new word?
Yeah, they don't even have proof for a protein, bro.
Ain't no way you study protein just saying it
like
that.
you got to do more. Listen. Here's what happened right here. Madon is a result of only studying within the mainstream spectrum. So if we all know what proteins are, but all of us didn't research material that says proteins may be a hoax. The protein craze during the fitness age, I watched documentaries on it. Some of y'all have too. When they even brought the word protein in and get your protein shakes, they wanted the world to eat more eggs. They wanted the world to drink more milk. The dairy was failing. So it's a lot of shit we do just to keep these economies going for real. Behavior we train to do and shit, man. It
it's
ain't
like what we were saying earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, it's just like the science. You create you encourage the scientists to write the paper to drive the policy and for the business industry and everything. So it's all circular all together.
I think God trapped us in
saying,
a box.
go ahead,
It's a governmental ordinance department. God keep you from being imaginative in your childlike mind. God set itself up on high, and God ain't never presented to you first as yourself. It's presented as some shit that's outside of you. So
from the beginning, you start feeling like you ain't shit because something out there is
Now think about if you weren't never presented with that. Well, whatever you think, you will feel like you could do. But no, it's God. It's a God that already did that. Your ass figure out something else to do.
Yeah. And it puts you down even more by telling you it's nothing you can do to please God. So, I mean, whatever you try to do is whatever. He can't be pleased by you.
Yeah, it's like people who like an abusive relationship and shit. They probably, like it damn near boys, damn near you like to be dominated. And it's
I was just about to say it's low key subliminal domination for sure. People like that shit, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to pleasing God, and my interpretation is by God being the Almighty All. So paying your tithes is giving back to man, plant, and animal, food, water, shelter, a glass of water, jacket, place to sleep, or just being an inspiration to others. Because God is the Almighty All, and that's equivalent to giving back to God. But when them individualized expressions of the all, think about the good you did for them, they send you that good karma, whether you're alive or moved on. That's why we celebrate life. Down south got it right. They have a party, a parade, send that good energy to them, not that sad. I say this stuff at funerals, by the way. The Buddhists got it right. They build an altar, put a picture of their loved one, as an object to remind them something funny to them, to send that good energy. Even the pharaohs had it right. They didn't want you to see them dead. When they came out, it was like Pimp My Casket, because they want your last seconds of life to be in awe. So when you hear somebody say they show was laid down nice, that's the shit. And not only that, I tell people, I say, who you think will look out for you more? Spiritual energy that know you and love you, or somebody you never met before in a name that's made up? They said, well, how do you pray to somebody that wasn't perfect? I said, well, it's like knowing the traits of your immediate family where they cook, sing, dance, play a sport or something. And if it's something you like to do, it empowers you. But that's the thing, you focusing on the good traits of the family, not the bad. Even if it's great uncle or grandpa moved on and they say you do that, you do that just like he used to do. By you calling their name, you bringing their energy near, and they give you the power to be better at it. Because I'm watching these people invoke their ancestor's name, constantly got us saying their ancestor's name. They put it on their money, they put it on their streets, they put it on their products, you know. And I say we should invoke our own ancestors' name and keep our ancestors alive.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And it acts just like religion, just bringing it back to science. It acts just like religion in that aspect, because it's this one size fit all type of ideology.
That's the downside of that ancestor worship, and they got everybody looking backwards, you know. And I just want to say that, you know, our ancestors are here. You know, our people had children every day.
But what I mean about looking backwards, you taking the good from the past, not the bad. You're looking at the good traits, not the bad traits. You are empowered knowing that runs, or you told that that's running your family, and it empowers you. You're not focusing on the bad. Because I see, when I tell some of the people that, I done changed their lives by them changing their focus on focusing on the bad that was going on and start focusing on the good and started moving forward in life.
Yeah, all you got to do, man, like the scripture say, love thy neighbor like you love yourself, man. And if more people practice that, we'll see the world will be a better place. But it's unfortunately that's not the case. It's not hard to please the Most High.
I think real talk. I think a lot of things that the Bible proposed to society will really help society. Let me just hear me out a minute. I think if people looked at the life of Jesus Christ, emulated it, practiced that shit, and said, fuck whatever my pastor saying, I'm just gonna copy off Jesus' life. Nigga, the world will be heaven on earth. Guess what? But ain't nobody caring about the scriptures or what the Jesus living like. What they pastor saying is what they going with, and they leading the whole world to hell. They creating congregations that's just looking for a money blessing. They backbiting on each other. A lot of jealousy is fucking just, man, look here, man.
That's a fact, Sanchez.
Well, that's the church only focus on the death and salvation of Christ. They don't talk about the life of Christ. The main focus is on death and salvation.
Sanchez hit it on the head, man.
Hey, but nah, to keep it real,
Madonna, Sanchez hit it on the head. If people
Madonna, you can't really say he hit it on the head, bro, because you still going to church,
hit it on
bro.
the head. He exactly right. If people follow Jesus rather than they pastor, a lot of shit will be different.
But no, this is the reason. Correct. The real reason why he hit it on the head is because most of the people like us who aren't subscribing to that religion decided that's what we was gonna do, and that's what made us leave that shit. We said, bro, if this is who we supposed to follow, let me see what he say do, and it made us realize we didn't need to be a part of no big congregation or follow no main book, because that's not what he said to do.
We started to emanate. We started to emanate the traits ourselves. That's the key. We understood, like he just said minutes ago, he is the God. The God is within us. So we started to emanate that and push it around us. That's the thing. You just talk about the veins around the world and all that other stuff. That's exactly what we're getting to. We emanate it, therefore it is. But a lot of people don't emanate themselves as the Christ or a God. They're still looking up and praying to something else. Therefore, we can't be internal when the whole world is pushing external. We have to come here first and then push it out around us. Creating
Here's Here's my issue with the Bible. See, I study multiple religions and timelines and histories, and I do it with an open mind. But I also study the etymology of the words. So after growing up in a Christian home, now that I go back through it with the look at the etymology of the words, I see a whole nother get down. I see science, I see math, I see astrology. Like the birth of Jesus itself was nothing but the winter solstice. The 3 stars of Orion's belt would have been the 3 wise men. The star that it was pointing at, it points to where the sun rises up at. The sun comes down through the Virgo constellation, Virgo the Virgin. It rises up in the tail end of the Virgo constellation, which is called the House of Bread, Bethlehem. The sun does a cycle for 3 days, the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th, and then it rises again back to its closest plane. And I'm like, so I'm seeing a whole different story. And every person I looked up, their name was related to a meaning it was just a whole sentence got compressed into a word. Now it's a person. But I understand that even Egyptians did it, where they layered their information. But
let me ask you something though, brother.
Real quick. The first time I read the Bible, first time a person reads the Bible, I'm gonna just say getting more knowledgeable. Then when they go back and read it again, they get a higher understanding. And when they go back and read it the third time, they get a higher understanding. And that's the same thing the way the hieroglyphics was layered in higher understandings as you got deeper into the meanings and the symbolism of it.
Now, I want to ask you, OG, and everybody on the panel.
Yeah, he right, yo. All that's one thing. All that shit hit different depending on where your paradigm at. That's why some Christians are never.
Your level.
Yeah, it was made to hide that shit from certain people so where they can read the same shit, but some of us get a whole. It's talking over your head and shit like how.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah,
that's right.
You got it.
Now, this is what I wanted to ask y'all. To give Madon, and not only just Madon, but any Christians, some merit that follow Jesus. Could we say that as above? One second,
I'm not a Christian.
One second.
Well, just say
just
Bible
to give him some merit.
Just say Bible believer. You'll get them with that.
Bible believer. Yeah, Bible believer.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
To give it some merit to believe in Jesus. Could we say that as above, so below? The story that the brother just dropped, Jules, about the winter solstice. Can we say that as above, so below could have been embodied within a human being?
No, not at all. Not when it comes to Christ.
To a certain extent,
it has nothing to do with.
To a certain extent,
it has nothing to do with as above, so below.
Madon, how you know that though? How you know that?
I'm helping you out, Madon.
Hey, can I introduce myself right quick?
Well, you asked the question, King. I was just answering.
Can I introduce myself? Look, my name is Sensei Bob.
Can I finish answering the question real quick? No, when you come to the story of Jesus, it's not about as above, so below, because if you read the scripture, it tells you that kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. That's a
Can I ask you a question real quick? Can I ask you a question?
No, that's a later point in time.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? Didn't Jesus say, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven when he taught them how to pray?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's
okay. So listen, watch this. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's as above, so below. So yeah.
But check it out though, Sanchez. That's when the kingdom comes.
There you go.
That's a future prophecy.
He love to make up his own shit.
Bro.
Let me show him. Let me hold on. I'm about to get him.
Man,
though.
Cook his ass.
I'm gonna show him. Hold on, no. Hold up, Madam. I'm gonna show you how you wrong, right? When it say let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, it's talking about the prophecy of God that was revealed in heaven is gonna be manifested on earth. It meant that the word which is God, which is of heaven, will be manifested on the earth. So even when you say that and whatever you was about to say in due time, all that, nothing can unfold. This is a process of how manifestation happens. It happens in the mind first, then it acts out in the body. But if you was never thinking of it, right, as above, so below is the body. That's the body realm gonna act it out.
Right.
But Bible believers. Hold on, Madon.
Bro, you gotta let me respond. Hold on, King. You I'm real brief. But it's like I said, that was a future prophecy that thy kingdom come on earth that it is in heaven. So, and it's gonna
That
be a
ain't
new
the
heaven and
scripture
new
we
earth.
talking about, though. We talking
Right.
about the one that say, let thy will be done on earth as the same way it is in heaven. That
Right, and
scripture
that's
is
talking about the
directly,
kingdom.
no, we know what it's talking about. It's saying what it's talking about. The will of God being done on earth the way it's done in heaven. Why you want to make it talk about something else, man? Bro, you a
Because
false
we don't
prophet.
see that yet,
Bro,
man.
you's
We
a
don't
false
see
prophet, bro. You is
we
a
experiencing
false
that.
prophet, bro. You a bro. Let me tell you something. If the Bible is real, Sanchez might go to hell, but Madon gonna be in a deeper pit than me because it said false prophets really gonna burn.
That's right.
But
And to make it even worse on Madon.
I just
experiencing
want to shoot. I just
experiencing
want to shoot
God's
at this
kingdom
right
that's
quick.
in heaven right now?
Bible believer to Bible
We're
believer.
not experiencing that kingdom yet. But go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, Bible believer to Bible believer. The Bible says use the stars as what? As signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders, right.
So what the brother with the dress said is true, but it don't disregard what Madonna is saying. But what Madonna is doing is acting as an apologetic. Because
But
he's
no,
trying
but
to,
see, I
King,
think
that's
y'all
not
missed
true.
over the point.
I'm
I
putting
was
it
gonna
down
make.
like it's supposed to be put down, King, because
nah,
we're not.
Madonna,
Hold on, Hutton. We are not experiencing that kingdom that the Messiah
Brother,
promised.
why you keep using it, bro? Wait. Slow down. Here's what Madon doing. I gotta point it out. The niggas being disingenuous is getting annoying. Why do he keep using the word kingdom? No one's talking about nothing concerning the kingdom other than the will of God and the kingdom of heaven. That will of that God up there manifesting onto the earth. He's trying to twist that shit.
Sanchez, no.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. What Madonna is doing is he really talking. He really talking a step around what y'all saying, because right before
He trying
will be
to.
done. Hold on.
He's
Right
not even dealing with the scripture we dealing with, brother.
No, he is.
No,
This is
he's
what I'm
not.
saying. Right before thy will be done, it says thy kingdom come.
Check this out, man.
So what Madonna is saying is thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Those two things go together. Thy kingdom come. That's what Madonna is saying.
But I got
out.
an even bigger dagger.
I'm gonna read the scripture. I'm gonna read the
It's a
scripture.
prayer. It's a prayer. Everybody knows.
I know.
I just want to read it verbatim.
1 second, y'all.
Okay.
I got a dagger for that, right? And this will smash out what Madon trying to say too, because Jesus told you where the kingdom of heaven was and when it will be coming. And he said it will never be a time where man can point to it because it's already within your midst. So that depletes all of that shit.
Watch this, right? Here's what they. Oh no, stop. I'm gonna read the scripture. This what they doing. What make both of them wrong. And I knew I was motherfucking right. Watch this shit. And I'm gonna pull the scripture up for y'all. These are whoever fucking with Madon a false prophet too on this one. I got smoke. Let's go. Let me show them the scripture. King James. Thy kingdom come. That's first. And after that, guess what it say? Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. That's the only part we want. Ain't no kingdom in between, none of that. Just like I said it. Y'all niggas was lying, bro.
Hold on.
Oh, bro, I got the scripture up. Let me go. It's my turn. I ain't through yet. Here's my point. You acting like the will of God being done on earth as it is in heaven is that this scripture is only gonna be true when the kingdom come, but the Bible don't say that. It just says your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You making a connection the Bible ain't making. It just said your kingdom come, and it say your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now here's where the kicker gonna come in. If you say Sanchez, you wrong, guess what you saying? God's will ain't being done right now. Then I gotta ask you whose will is being done right now.
Damn.
Satan, because he had 6,000 years to rule.
And I knew you would say that. Right? So if Satan got 6,000 years to manifest his will on the earth, then that shows you how useless Christianity is, because why the fuck would you pray? I wouldn't watch. No, I'm not through, man. Why would you pray And if 6,000 years ain't up, think about it. If you're a woman and you being abused, that's because God allowing Satan to manifest his will right now. That ain't gonna be over till 6,000 years, so you can quit asking God to save you. At least, listen. Watch this. Let me and Madon go. At least you need to wait until the 6,000 years up. Then we can start asking God to do stuff when he get his damn will back.
Man, drop a bomb, bro.
Hey, hold on.
Too early to pray.
Can I say something real quick?
Please,
That's why you gotta
please,
stay steadfast in
please, please,
Because I see
please,
where the
Satan. You
esoteric,
gotta
where the
rebuke
esoteric
Satan at
comes
all
in.
costs.
please let me say this. Please let me
Okay.
say this, and then y'all can have whatever else. All I want to say is, when you said if I'm fucking with Madonna, I'm a false prophet. You know,
I didn't say that to you, brother. I said
okay.
whoever backing him up and all that, I stand. So that, yeah, I'm talking to you if you still backing him up on that saying.
Well, no,
right?
I wasn't backing him up. I was saying that what he.
Well, then I wasn't talking to you. Then you can ignore that. You can just go and do your thing. Then.
Okay. What my point was is that what Madonna was saying about the kingdom, that's what I was backing him up on, because he was thinking about the verse, the part of the verse before what you was talking about, and that's all that I was saying.
But that's my thing, though. If I bring up one scripture, one part of the Bible, why he got to bring up? Because I'm only dealing with one part. These are separate. There's a period after that. Maybe one day we can talk about thy kingdom come. But after that, there's another sentence. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. And why can't we just single that one out and conclude from that? Okay, the will of God in heaven is always manifesting on the earth. Even if Madon's saying that Satan has been given permission to rule for 6,000 years, guess what? That's still the will of God. It was God's will that Satan ruled for 6,000 years, but that went over y'all head. I'm just playing chess, running laps around you. I'm sticking my foot in the water. I like this game. See,
no, I mean, I don't got no argument for that part of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't have no argument for that part of what I don't have no argument about God's permissive will and God's divine will and God's orchestrated. I don't have no argument for none of that. My only point is that what the brother said about the stars also goes with the fact that God's will in heaven is being showed. My understanding is the stars are a sign for what God's will is. So you can look at the stars and tell what's going to happen on earth.
Listen, I don't disagree with that. I'm just sticking to this one little highlighted portion, and it don't mention nothing about the stars. And I'm making one point, and I agree with you about the stars. I'm making one point with this highlighted part, that because Madon was trying to, he was trying to say, I got him in the corner. I got him saying that, see, he done made me
run the world.
No, I was saying about as above, so below, Sanchez. Go ahead.
But that was the whole point about as above, so below. He was trying to say, I think that ain't in the Bible and that this scripture ain't in alignment with that. And I'm showing him it's definitely in alignment with that. Whatever the God in heaven wills, it's going to manifest on earth. And if you want to debate me on that, let's go, Madon. Or is you going to say, nah, you right?
Well, my point is this, Sanchez.
Am I wrong about that statement I just said?
To a degree, you are. To a degree,
show me what degree.
Okay, the degree that you're correct is that by thy will is going to be done on earth as it is in heaven. But my main thing is, as we see, as people use as above, so below today, to me, it's outside of what the Bible was saying about
that. Ain't what the debate is. The debate is the concept of as above, so below, meaning what's in the above is the mental realm. That's the God realm, consciousness. So the below realm is the physical realm. Everybody know things happen in the spiritual, the mental realm before they manifest in the physical. That's the way shit work. Don't nothing happen in physicality first, then it becomes a thought. Everything that happens in physicality is the end result of a thought process or a way a nigga was thinking, whether it's Jeffrey Dahmer or to an invention that was made. That's right. No matter what it is. So that's what this thing. So what the Bible's saying is God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That means that this God that sits high in heaven, he manifests his will through man on earth, which is why the root word of manifestation is man. This is what a queen bee does in a beehive. She sits in the middle of the hive, and every bee that you see performing an action is getting a signal from the queen. So
I feel that, but going back to what Hutton was talking about, because a lot of people try to use the stars, and we know that if you can find me one person that can read the stars and interpret them and say what they're saying,
man, this is crazy now.
I'm just saying,
It's getting crazy now, man.
Can I ask you a question,
No one cannot read those stars. And
Nobody can read the stars and interpret what they saying, bro.
You can read the stars and navigate this flat plane. Every star and every pyramid on the ground line up with something in the sky.
That's
called
global positioning.
I thought that's what our ancestors did.
That's called global positioning. What I'm saying is, you can't look up in the sky, right, and look at the Big Dipper and say, well, the Big Dipper is in the western sky tonight, so that means 16 people gonna die.
No, let me show you. Wait. Let me build on that. Let me build on that. Actually, and this is from I'm finna beat Madon up with his own science, y'all. Watch this. His scientist experts, right, and historians and all that, and archaeologists, when they make their documentaries and talk about the Mayan calendar, excuse my language, y'all, but they be sucking the ancestors off. They be sucking them off, y'all, after they've been ridiculing them for years, right? They be talking about how the Mayan were talking about that alignment we had September 23rd. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Let me show you something. I got it already open. This alignment right here. You see that? The Mayan predicted this, and they said what was gonna happen on a political level and all that, in finance, economics, when this alignment showed up. And guess what? Everything the Mayan said have happened. People say one thing is for sure, and this is just them talking on the documentaries, that the Bible is very prophetic and that the Mayans were very prophetic. So whatever the ancient Hebrew knew on how to read the stars, to sync that with events, the Mayan knew it too. So you're disconnected with your own ancestors right now, brother. You can't even have, hold on, wait. Let me show him how silly this is. The three wise men looked up in the sky and saw the sign of the coming of the Lord with the star of Bethlehem. God damn, son, this is crazy.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Now check this out, Sanchez. Now check it out, Sanchez. Okay, we agreeing now. We definitely agreeing.
You was just disagreeing.
We agreeing now.
Hold on. My point was this, Sanchez. I said no one today can read those. Now I agree
but bro, you can't say that though. But hold on.
We can't.
You can't. Everybody no, you can't say that. You know, it's billions of people on Earth, man.
Man, that'll be a YouTube sensation if they predicted what those stars.
Bro, let me explain something to you, bro. If the Mayans did it and you agree, and that the biblical prophets did it and you agree, and you don't think that there's prophets in our time, right? Then you still not believing the Mayans of the Bible, because they talk about prophets of old and prophets of new.
And
I believe we lost that science.
You know, no. See, when it search, hold on.
But you follow NASA.
Hold on, wait. You know what he gotta do? He got to learn to stop speaking for the entire world. That's so fucking egotistical. I went there speak for 10 billion motherfuckers. Guess what? A motherfucker can say, man, we ain't got the ability to see what's gonna happen next week. I wouldn't dare say nothing like that, because out of 10 billion people in the world, I bet you it's some people out there with a fucking spiritual gift that can say, that can tell your ass what's gonna happen next week.
Sanchez, bro, it's a word in Hebrew, and if I'm right, it's nozelet. It's where we get the word nozzle from. And what that word is the flow of energy from the stars and the moon and stuff like that. It literally means that when the stars do a certain thing or when the planets do a certain thing, you able to channel energy on on the time and on the date that their star or planet or whatever does.
Hey,
a certain thing.
Okay, what is it saying, brother?
This
You're
shows
missing
not.
my
This
whole
shows
point.
Madon is
You're
not
you're still
genuine
not
though, Madon,
interpreting.
because
You're
No,
not
let me tell you.
interpreting.
Let
You're
me
still not
break it.
interpreting what they're
Let me
saying.
break it.
King.
Let me break
Hold
it
on,
down to you simply.
wait. I'm finna blow y'all away with some sources real quick and nip this shit in the bud.
Well, you can look at Christmas and you can say Christmas. The energy that
Look.
flows on
Hey,
Christmas is
Sanchez.
different
Look
by
at
the
this.
time it gets to
Read
New
that.
Year's.
Read this real quick, and I'm finna pass it to the sisters. I gotta show this real quick.
the use
Guess
of
what?
psychics.
Now watch this. Anybody that watch forensics like me, I'm always looking at some true crime, some police shit. But check it out, right? I swear to God, in a lot of these cases where they just don't know what to do and they want to give up, guess what the fucking police will do? They will call in a psychic. You know, the person everybody say is a scammer and don't know what the fuck they talking about. I swear the police have found missing people. The psychic led them right to the body in some of these cases. This was even on some of them forensic shows. And the police will say, well, we don't know. It's a chance of luck. Which just when all else fails, hey, you never know. But it's like, no, y'all hide some, because who would waste their time with a fucking psychic if you don't think it's a chance with that? You trying to make us.
And you spending money on this shit too.
Yeah.
Like, and Madon, I know he ain't being genuine because nigga, you believe in NASA. So how can you say nobody got the ability to read?
I just said that.
Well, I've been looking for him, King. Someone who can look up at the Bed of Orion or look at the different constellations.
There's people out there, bro. Remember when this man said that Christianity? Remember when this man? I know, cause you ain't been looking. Watch this. When this man had said that Christianity is the best religion because he studied them all, I asked him for one scripture out of the Quran. He didn't know it. One scripture out the Dhamma. He didn't know it. Madon is a false prophet and compulsive liar. You can't trust the man. And that's for real. You can't trust shit out of his mouth, bro. You can't trust none out of the man's mouth. But you can't say that if you ain't read no other creation stories, and I prove that you didn't, bro. You ain't. So check this out, right? It's hundreds of millions of creation stories in the world. You can say, well, the Bible is my favorite creation story, but you can, in order for you to say it's the best one and for that to be a fact, even if you trying to say, in your opinion, it's the best one, you can't even formulate their opinion until you try them all. And you could formulate it.
I was saying it make the most sense. The creation story in the Bible made most sense.
You can formulate it biasly. And yeah, it make the most sense if it's the only one you know, man. I get it, bro. But check this out.
If you believe in outer space,
I didn't start reading the Bible till I was 33 years old, man.
That's good.
Way before that,
you don't know
that's
it,
right
brother.
around Jesus.
That's why you don't know it, brother.
That's Jesus age right there, bro.
And you know what, bro, hold up. Madon just told, I gotta call it out. Madon just told us something very important, y'all. Why he add and take away from the Bible, and he don't really know the Bible like that. He just started reading the motherfucker. How can he teach it to us? How can he break it down?
I've been studying it for over 10
bro,
years.
Sanchez, I got a question for you when you get a chance.
It's been over
bro.
10 years.
Yeah, can I get a chance too?
Yeah,
when y'all looking up at the when y'all looking up at the sky, what y'all consider, what, like, if not being a flat earther, like a globe earther, ain't what they considering constellations, ain't that nothing but like planets and moons and shit like that?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
No. But hold on, Sanchez. If that's what they say, then the first thing that people read in the sky is the moon. Farmers and everybody read the moon in order to plant crops. I think that's that would be considered a star or a luminary in the sky that people read in order to know how to plant on the new moon, the half moon, the crescent moon, things like that. That's the first thing you learn to read in the sky is the moon. So.
Yep. Farmer's Almanac would be a prediction book if that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
but also too,
constellations, Bobby.
It's funny you say that because isn't the moon known for the subconscious? People can't tap into that subconscious. You heard, Bobby?
Let the sister say something.
Oh,
No,
my bad.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that they have the energies are different at different times, like in different conjunctions and things like that. Is what I've been noticing. That's just from the astrology I'm studying, and I don't even know too much. I'm just barely getting into it. But yeah, I was gonna say too about when you said that kingdom come, right? what came to my head is automatically is that it's like that epiphany moment, that aha moment that you get when you get that con chakra activated in that thought that comes into your mind. It tells you like what you have to do, like in a certain situation or about something, right? Like, so, because that's what happened to me. And it's crazy that you brought that up, Sanchez, like you said about abusive relationship, right? Like you was never gonna get out, the female can never get out of it because God ain't coming, right? Well, like I had an aha moment, and I had the aha moment what the hell I had to do, and I had to do it quick, you know. And I did what I had to do because I couldn't get rid of him for shit.
You wouldn't wait
tried
6,000 years
That's not
either.
the kingdom, though, sister. When the kingdom come, a child is the Bible tells you a
Damn,
child
let her
gonna
have
be
her
able to put his
story,
hand.
man.
He's gonna,
Okay,
you
the
know,
Bible
he's
tells
gonna
you
give her the
child is gonna
smoke,
be able to
man.
put
It's
his
like
hand
he
in
can't,
a snake.
Madon can't let nobody have the last word, man. Not even the sisters,
man.
man. He gonna.
That was real disingenuous, dude. You wouldn't let her
How
have
I
was
her
don't
story,
even think
bro.
she was
You
finished
got
though.
your cape on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we gonna
Go
put the
ahead.
cape
Can I
on.
speak? Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I've never understood how a Christian can believe in outer space because you can't have it both ways. Scientists say that it was a big bang, there's billions of galaxies with billions of galaxies and suns in them, and technically we're just a speck of dust in the scheme of things, and we're just germs crawling around a speck of dust. Scientists don't believe in God, so there's no God in that equation. Now, Madon, do you believe you're a spirit having a human experience, and at the same time being a human trying to get to your highest spiritual experience?
I'm a spirit and a
Because if
soul,
you
King.
Right. So if you believe that, then all of this is an illusion. We're just here to get to our highest conscious level. So none of this exists unless you believe in the Big Bang. Then we're just a piece of a speck of germ crawling around a piece of dirt sand.
Hey, look,
Speck of
hey,
sand.
I wanna say something to. I wanna say something.
that lie?
Hey, bro, chill out, Madon. Chill out, Madon. You just wanna, nah, bro. I wanna teach get a higher vibration in this Madon shit, though. Real talk. I need a little cut breaks, man, for this guy. But check this out, bro. Everything we see in the sky ain't none of that shit physical matter. Every light you see twinkling up there is spiritual material. So now when we look up in the sky, we looking outside of the physical dimension. And we looking at what the ancestors call luminary objects, heavenly objects. These things ain't none of that shit physical. They exist on as holographic objects. But guess what though? We're the same. When they say as above, so below, we're holographic as well. But when your consciousness is within this holographic simulation, like I said, we exist on a lower dimension of it. If I put up the slides, I can go deeper into this shit if y'all want to go. But I'm trying to be short to pass the mic around. With salutes to everybody. I don't want to talk to him about this as above, so below no
So
more.
how you? So what about the solar luminescence?
What about it?
That's what a star is, right?
Yeah.
Pull up the slides, bro.
Okay. A star is a result of solar luminescence.
And I also want to say, when you
Do
looking
you
at
feel like no matter where if they say you on Mars or wherever you at, we all looking at the same skies? No matter where you at, when you look in the sky,
When you say
we
we're
looking
on,
at the same sky.
when you say we're on Mars, right? I don't believe.
I'm just saying like the area where they say it's at, or wherever they say things are, other lands.
I don't think we can see the exact same sky because if you're just say you're at the North Pole, you would have to look down to see all these other constellations instead of up. How would that be? Because you at this point where you above all of the Polaris is the most high, basically. So I'm saying, like, how would it be to be at that point looking down at, So I don't know what exactly you'll see in the sky in these other netters and all that, and that's when we'll go into what we believe or what we think, which is cool too and interesting too to do.
Yeah, that damn near builds off what you was just saying. Like, you made me think when you said we are holographically too. When you go outside, you look up and see the mind. Those are what the planets are representing, the energies around us and shit. Physically, you know, physically to do with those ley lines and shit like that of the earth. When you look up in that constellation, that's the energy that's over there. Like how they say when the planets come through in retrograde, premonitions, if I'm saying it right, is the energy that is expelled from those gaseous states floating around us. Those are the energies that we get from like Jupiter or Mars and shit when it's going through. So I say that to say, like, you made me think of literally going outside when I walk, because I have dogs, I take long walks. Why do you feel better when you take walks and you look into the sky and you feel the breeze and everything around you?
We supposed, yeah, we supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. That's you, and you going out and you expand. Think about when you're enclosed in a room, how cramped up you feel because you suppress the mind. You put it in this little box, but when you go outside to the expansive area, the infinite expanse, you clear yourself. You feel way better. They tell you get in nature, get back to your mind, breathe.
Can you go outside and count the stars?
No, bro, and that has nothing to do with what I was talking about. What are you talking about?
Okay, cool.
Is that how you argue with your girlfriend? You be bringing up random shit, Madon, and she just get mad at you?
Brother.
Hey, real quick.
And I didn't, wasn't no point behind that at all.
Yeah, bro, Sanchez, can I say one thing?
The point is, King, you said, no, you ain't the one who said solar luminescence, but when you go outside and see those stars, that declare the glory of the Most High. But at the end of the day, my point is this. No one can count the stars. That's why no one can, today's world, interpret them.
Let me explain something to you, man. No one can count how many words exist in the world. That's just too many, but we can interpret them, though.
Ooh. Damn. Come on, that's a vibe. You don't got no comeback for that shit. I know you can't comeback.
Sanchez, when you get a chance, you should cook.
You can't interpret the stars.
You should cook on the word faith.
You know what you really want to say? I can't interpret the stars. And you know, the crazy thing about it, interpreting the stars is simply creating your own cultural language and spiritual system based around what you see in the heavens. Everybody don't see the same things. Some people see different constellations, same sky, but some people may have a rack for that symbol where you got like a certain constellation or whatever. But my thing is all a form of people interpreting the sky. Now you may say, well, they ain't interpreting the way that they used to in the Bible, where don't nobody do nothing the way they used to. The fact is, people interpret the sky. It's very simple to do. Like, I don't understand how this ended up being a long debate. Madon got a way of making us have these foolish debates that's like, bro, I can go interpret the sky tonight.
That don't make me, but now listen,
guess what, brother? Guess what you could say? You could say, well, that's a false interpretation or a stupid interpretation, or that interpretation don't make no sense. It's an interpretation and you can do it too. So, but let's move the conversation forward.
Hey, real quick, Madon, before you go. I was just saying, like, when those three wise men saw the star in the west and they knew, to me, those people, those ancient people, they knew how to interpret it.
You though, guess what though? It got to be according to the Bible, not according to Madon. So when you come with that to you stuff, I can't deal with it.
No, because you just show how Madon, slow down. Everybody up here got a universal interpretation of a full moon and niggas acting crazy.
The ancient Mayans were able to do it. Come on, Bobby, don't do that.
Everybody up here got an interpretation of the moon and niggas acting crazy on the full moon. That's an interpretation right there.
We're not talking about vampires.
Wait, hold on. It don't matter. We're talking about things in the sky.
Stars.
The moon is exempt from this
one mic family.
So now you go exempt the moon from the luminaries?
Yeah, because we're not counting the moon as constellations like Leo and the Big Dipper.
Wait. Hey, constellations are made up of different moons and stars and shit according to your signs.
But we're not talking. That's separate from our moon, though, Papa.
I didn't say that, brother.
When we talking about people reading the stars and the constellations, they were looking out past the moon.
According to who? You was there?
We know the moon governs.
Was you there? No, I'm saying, was you there?
Well, we can see that the predictions they're made according to their historical record. Just like Sanchez said,
niggas acting
ancient
crazy
Mayans-
on the full
the
moon is
ancient
ancient
Mayans, you
shit,
saw
bro.
how the ancient Mayans was able to predict things. The
Yeah,
people in the
niggas
Bible in the
acting
ancient
crazy
world
on the
was able
full
to
moon
predict
is ancient, bro. So I'm gonna
but
just leave it at that.
Yeah, Madon, you can't deny the moon being a luminary because at the end of the day, it's a light in the sky, and it's in the Bible as a great light. So it's
Bro,
still
we're talking
considered a
about
light in the
different
heaven.
star clusters, brother. That's what we're talking about interpreting. Not the
But
moon. Yeah, we know the
interpretation,
moon
it
governs the
doesn't
planet
require.
every almost 28 to 30 days. We understand that. But we're talking about when you're
That's
looking
an
up in the sky at night
interpretation,
and
though,
seeing the
brother.
Big dipper and saying, okay, such and such is gonna happen. It's gonna be a flood in China. It's gonna be a tsunami
people
in
doing that though.
Exactly.
Right. People doing it. And like Sanchez said, if I did that shit right now, you might not agree and it might not be accurate, but I did it.
And check how crazy this is. Even crime surveys say that it's more crime during a full moon. So in certain cities during a full moon, they'll increase patrol in the downtown
That's
area.
what I'm saying.
In
That's
Detroit,
a real
got that
thing. In
Perks night in
Chicago, it's
Detroit.
like that. Yeah,
In
they call it
Detroit.
Devil's Night. Yeah.
Yeah. In
Exactly.
Detroit, they got one.
And then also, but also
you see,
historically,
you can't argue
historic-
with this fool, man. Cause anybody that's gonna just deny, like all of us wrong, cause this man just ain't got the fucking honesty to say
the
okay,
term
man.
lunacy. Wait, the term lunatic came from people observing that on the full moon things get a little crazier.
Right.
That's
Well,
that's a
because they
term
didn't have
earlier.
electricity, brother. And the moon, they didn't have electricity back in them times. And the moon,
And the
was
moonlight
best
let
light,
them do stuff. So guess what that means? People can read and predict behavior by looking at what the heavens doing. That proves our point no matter how you say it, bro.
There you go.
That's
you got
right.
werewolves.
And here's another one that's not the moon.
that's
so
not
I can help
prediction,
you
man.
out.
That's how you get the word lunatic. Now,
Here's
guess
another
what?
one.
Guess what, bro? If somebody say, "Oh, it's gonna be a full moon in a week," guess what? The police can say, "Okay, it's gonna be more crime on that day." Somebody can say, "So hold up, let me get it out." Somebody can say, "Oh, he's a prophet." No, he ain't a prophet. He know how to read the sky for signs, because it's certain the sky influence us in a lot of ways. And then boom, that's just one simple way.
And another one is called Red Kachina and Blue Kachina. These stars are known from the Hopi days and the Indian days, but they go into explaining the red star and the blue star that come in at a specific time range, and they not moons, they not none of that. So they're interpreting the change our politics, just like he said with the Mayans. The Indians had certain stars that they interpreted that changed during certain time. It'll change how the world is being interacted with by the people.
You can trace all the major wars and all the major political shifts to certain alignments. You know what I'm saying? And that's how entire societies are built around those ideas. So how can you as one person say that it's not true?
Bro. You're doing.
Guess what the Bible say?
That.
Hey, bro, there's a scripture in the Bible that tell you to use the stars for signs and wonders. And I think it's in Genesis, if I ain't mistaken. It tells you to do that.
Yep.
Hey, Bobby, I got a question for you, Bobby.
Says,
all right, brother said, I just want to say thank you for letting me come on. I'm about to cut out. But my name is Sensei Bob. I'm from the legendarily Bobby crew. I'm a world-class pop locker. You can check me out on Facebook under Sensei Bob. Catch you later. Peace.
Sensei Bob.
Peace, brother.
Got you, man. I'm gonna look you up now, man.
See you later,
Salutes
boss.
to y'all.
Hey, can I ask Bobby a question real quick?
How y'all feel about the more than one son thing?
LABOPPIN crew. LA Boppin crew.
Hey, and the Bible also it says, "Don't be like those heathens who are scared of the stars, who don't want to read them interpreted."
No, it said, "Do not be amazed by the stars and get caught up in trying to interpret them, King." That's what it says.
Man, this brother be just man, whatever.
This nigga crazy,
man.
Hey, Bobby, you think? Hey, Bobby,
well, you
think
can read it for
lunatic?
yourself.
You think the word lunatic and werewolf have anything to do with each other? Like as far as them like commercializing it, like because I noticed how you said something about Luna with the lunar, and they was comparing it with the moons and shit. Do you think that they're trying to tell you something through the whole like werewolf concept and shit like that?
No, I think that's more.
Listen here, man.
No, man.
The whole concept of a lunatic and a lunatic and a werewolf is different things, though.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I know that. I'm just saying, motherfucker going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the whole thing about the lunatic is that I think that was their way of saying how
Just on
crime
some wild
increases.
man shit. That's all. You know what
Crime
I mean?
increases, man. People get loony under that full moonlight.
Right.
But the thing you gotta remember too about that werewolf thing is a werewolf is just being a werewolf. That's consciously what he knows to be. He's not being
Bro, ain't no
crazy.
damn
That's
werewolf,
his
man.
norm.
Nah.
You feel me? That's his norm. So the energy that comes with it is a norm for something or somewhere.
I was just saying as far.
somewhere
I was saying as far as the full moon that
it's
comes
like
with
it's
it.
a pushing. All right,
by the
listen.
moon. People just
The
mystified
moon-
by the moon. That's all it was.
No, the moon. Listen, it's certain crops that grow in moonlight, bro. They call them nightshade, right? Listen to me, Madon. This is real farmer's almanac, like gardening and shit, right? Certain crops like tomatoes, I think cucumbers, they grow better in the moonlight, right?
And psychedelic mushrooms,
right?
too.
Mushrooms and all of these things that expand yo. So when they say lunacy and lunar tick, basically, from my interpretation, the moon got like a pulling type of energy, you know, what would be perceived as a negative effect. So whatever type of but negative is only by the perception of it. So let's say you a motherfucker that like to fight. Maybe this might be the night that you want to schedule your boxing match or something like that.
I'm
Get
gonna
in
go
the ring and go
deeper.
crazy, or you know,
Well,
people who
it's
into
nice.
sports and something like it's just a night of activating.
You're killing yourself, Bobby.
No, I'm not, because people
Yes, you
because
are.
the energy because if you're not controlling it, because if you ain't
said
in
you
control of your
killing yourself.
energy, it's gonna become lunacy. You're gonna become a lunatic, nigga.
Bro,
Real.
no.
But see, check this
You're going
out.
off
To make it even deeper,
your own self-control motions.
Well,
Nah,
listen, bro. I just said that this is from my understanding. If you somebody want to believe in the Bible and lean out into your own understanding, then be controlled by the will of a fake God.
Well,
That's
I
on
can
you.
argue without the Bible. Like all
Hey,
of us.
hey, check it out,
check
right?
this
But you never do.
Hey, man, listen, I hate to do this, but shit, I gotta run right now, y'all. I got to get up out of here right now.
Hey, Sanchez, you have a good
Yeah.
one, brother. And if you
I
ever
had a
get a chance, man, I would love to hear you cook that word faith, bro.
I got a
would love
video
that.
I want to send you.
Hey, I'm gonna try to you mean do a stream about the word faith and just what
Yeah,
it
because
means?
I feel like that's the
I'll do
main
my
word that
thing,
fucked
bro.
everybody up in my family, bro.
Oh, bro, I'll do my thing with that one. I'm gonna write
You know what I'm
that
talking
down.
about?
Yeah, man, I need to do that, man. That'll be a stream about religion. We'll get some of these. I know Madonna be here for that one.
They gonna go nuts.
know, right?
They gonna go nuts if you do that, dog.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I'm
get
definitely
that
gonna
faith,
do
bro.
that.
Get that faith.
Hey, I appreciate
bro,
y'all though,
Sanchez.
man. I hate to even leave. It's the people enjoying it, but yeah.
Hey, Sanchez, I want to send you a
Peace and
video.
love, everybody. It's love. It's love.
Peace and love,
Hey,
everybody.
peace and
Salute,
love to the
Sanchez.
sister.
No doubt.
Yeah, peace and love, peace and love. Salutes to everybody, man, especially to the sisters, man, for joining. If y'all didn't get a chance to speak, my bad, but I got to get up out of here. Yeah, man, y'all listen. Before I go though, make sure y'all check me out, man. Check me out, right? Saturday, June 24th. I'm not gonna let you down. I'm putting my all into it. The grand presentation is underway. I'm not gonna let you down. I got a lot of stuff that I'm gonna go into, and it's gonna be one you don't want to miss, for real. It's 2 days away. Come check me out this Saturday, June 24th, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Peace and much love, guys. See y'all.
Brosancheztv.